Chapter 21. Revenge is not overnight. Chapter 21. Revenge is not overnight. Put on the vestment and bring the five-way charm, and Fang Hongji is proud to go out. After 20 days of cultivation, he did not care about life and death, regardless of success or failure, and suffered from the pain of day and night. Finally, he refining the medicine of Jui Jindan, and under the skin, he developed a thick membrane. The physical strength is greatly increased, and the braveness is extremely incomparable. It has reached the 8th level of physical condition in the realm of bravery. It is the limit of the body that the physical body is trained to the 8th. The most typical representative is the inside of the skin, which grows a thick layer of meat film, such as cowhide, which is the most resistant to hitting. Otherwise, how can it be called the brave? What is even more powerful is that the film, in the realm of the brave, is also thicker and thicker than them. In other words, Fang Han's body, anti-strike ability, long physical strength, is much stronger than the same realm. This is the strong body that Jui Jindan brought to him. Jui Jindan is the demon of the Great Gate, the golden dragon refining the Wangquan Emperor, and the Guban Peiyuan can push people directly to the mysterious secrets, but the square is too thin, so it is impossible for the medicine to push him into the magical power. The secret, but it gave him a foundation that no one has. The more stable and solid the foundation is, the more likely it is to achieve the magical mystery. And after practicing as a supernatural power, the flesh is strong, and the mana is more powerful than the average master, and lives longer. Today, he must revenge and return the vengeful vengeance of the prince. Gentleman revenge, not too late for 10 years. The villain revenge, not every night. Fang Han is not a gentleman, his status is humble, obviously a villain, so he can't wait for a hate to report immediately. He can't wait for one night. Now he has waited for 20 days, and his heart is filled with anger. It can be said that it is overwhelming. It is difficult to wash. The footsteps are raging, the dragon swims and the tiger runs, and Fang Han comes to the group of immortals. Fangxianyuan is the place where all the disciples of Yuhuaman gather. The venue is very wide. A majestic square, 10 miles away, stands a dragon's table with a root. Above the Chinese watch, the white clouds are lingering, the sky is faint, and a row of gods. The scene of the party is 10 times as big as 8 times as large as the square that worshipped in front of the palace. Usually there is no one in this square, but now it is full of voices, and there are feathered disciples wearing vestments everywhere. Fang Han was interspersed among the crowd, looking for Hongyi County Master, and Lu Kong. Among the hundreds of thousands of disciples in Yuhuaman, he is only familiar with these two people. Of course, we must hold a group, otherwise it will be hard to stand alone. In the next task, it is difficult to survive and take advantage of it. Fang Han, here, a subtle voice sounded, and he quickly turned around and saw the red-eyed lord standing under a Chinese watch and rushing to the past. Where are the princes of the king of the kings? Lu Kong went to contact them. Now, in this group of immortals, people are not easy to find everywhere, and the elders will speak again. The red-eyed county owner looked at Fang Han and looked at his eyes. You broke through again. A realm of realm, this progress is really too fast, impossible, no more talented person, it is impossible to break through the realm within 20 days. Is the medicinal medicine you eat not a one-horned python? The inner liner, I think it is the eternal elixir of yin and yang Wanshodan. The eyes of Hongyi County are very sinister, knowing that she can be the gold medal killer of Nian Hongshuan. Cough. Fang Han told the owner of Hongyi County that he had swallowed the inner horn of the unicorn python, and he was talented and physically strong. The deceitful party Qing Shui is also the reason, but the Hongyi County owner is obviously not as good as Fang Qingshe. Forget it, everyone has their own secrets. Seeing Fang Han only cares about dry cough, the Red Yi County main swings his hand. Indeed, the outside disciples are the gates of the dignitaries, who has no secrets of their own. Take the King of Princes, of the Dade dynasty, it is actually the sect of the 10 Taoist school, and the martial arts of Wangguixian Island is obviously not as simple as the dynasty that he said in his mouth. Is there no secret in the main body of Hongyi County? Fang Han knows now, in the door of the feathers, no matter the outside disciple or the inner disciple, as long as they don't cultivate to the magical secrets, the martial art will not overestimate your secrets. The true disciple is the core of the feather gate. Oh, at this moment, in the sky among the white clouds in the distance, a very powerful sword scream suddenly came, and the white clouds in the sky were cut and scattered, and a large piece appeared in the air. Then, in the clear sky, the dragonfly flew 5 people. The 5 Taoists, instead of riding a crane, have a ray of light at their feet, and they are full of brilliance. Compared with riding a crane, there is more flavor, and there is a taste of heaven. This is the elder from the Yuhua temple. The owner of Hongyi County looked at the 5 elders who drove the Xiaoguang Baoqi, and they also showed an envious look in their eyes. The 5 elders slowly landed on the Shengxiantai, on the group of immortals, square, and suddenly many disciples were silent. Upper Sendai is as high as 18 feet, like a mountain peak. It is the place where the elders of the Feathering Gate stand on it, and the disciples of the inner disciples and the disciples outside the door are issued. In the middle of the Bohai Sea, the Blue Moon State has been attacked by the Sand Scorpion. There are also the remnants of the underground demon, the demon of the demon. I think many of you have already known, this time the feathers sent you out. The first is to rescue the crisis of the Blue Moon State, and the second is to let you go out and practice. If the foreign disciples have a successful experience, they can get the promotion of the inner disciples. If the inner disciples have a successful experience, they can cultivate into the mysterious secrets. Promoted to a true disciple, even if you can't practice the magical mystery, if you kill a demon disciple who has provoked this incident, serious little real man, Wang Molin, Tian Yao Zong's, pure fox little demon girl, 6 Devil's Gate, red powder prince. These people will get a yin-yang Wanshodan, wearing a purple cloak, the whole body was flashing, and the elders holding a floating dust suddenly spoke. The words suddenly thundered and rolled, and they were conveyed to the ears of every disciple of Yuhuaman. If you think that if you don't have a home for cultivation, you can't stay in the martial art and continue to practice. Another elder. Cultivating immortals, thorns and jungles, embarking on this road, life and death dilemma. But only in the life and death tempered, seeing through the great horror between life and death, can only stimulate the mind-brain, repair the magical powers, how to go ahead, you yourself make a decision. As soon as the words were finished, the 5 elders flew up from the Shengshengtai and disappeared. The 5 elders who conveyed the news flew away, and all the disciples suddenly blew up their arguments. A yin and yang longevity Dan. In the rumor, this medicinal herb is 3,680 kinds of a kind of medicinal medicine. After 30 years of passing through the road, Yunlei Tianfeng furnace, it is made by the master of the church. Dan medicine can increase the lifespan of a Jazi, and it can also help people step into the mystery of the magical power. Mastering the supreme, a total of 6 refining, each is a rare treasure. The treasure of the town. Now it is taken out as a reward. It seems that the little wolf that provoked this incident, the pure fox demon girl, the red powder prince died. The inner disciples on the Shan list are afraid to shoot. The main eyes of Hongyi County suddenly became sharp, and then laughed spontaneously. It is easy to kill these people. These people are the 2 disciples of the demon. They are scheming and have rumors in their hands. I am afraid that the demon will not be slaughtered. Sirius is a real person, pure fox demon girl, red powder prince. Who are these people? Fang Han asked. The information of these people, the princes of the Dad dynasty, are sure to be complete in their hands. The main road of Hongyi County. Since the sects have given yin and yang to live down, there are thousands of disciples in the inner door who are afraid of moving, especially the master of the mountain river list is the most terrifying. What is the mountain river list? Fang Han found that he knew too little. The Shan list is the most outstanding top 10 masters among the inner disciples. In their hands, there are powerful spirits and even treasures. Although they have not stepped into the magical mystery, they are not as strong as the true disciples. As soon as you step into the mysterious realm, you can become a true disciple immediately. Hongyi County is very patient. At this time, all the disciples in the group of the Shenxianyuan began to disperse. There were 3 groups, 5 groups and 1 group, discussing the things that went to the Luhai Desert and the Blue Moon. The Bohai Sea Desert Blue Moon State, from the Feathered Mountain, has a distance of tens of thousands of miles, even the fastest Maxima. Day and night, it will take 10 days and 10 nights. However, the disciples of Yuhuaman have their own means. The one with the Maxima is the most low-level character. This kind of role is also sent to death. Miles away, disciples with means, only for 7 or 8 days to arrive, and riding a crane to fly, 2 or 3 days will arrive, and you can rest in the middle. You are here. Several people in the royal family have already waited, this time they have pulled a lot of masters. Lu Kong came from afar. N.A. Vel B. in .c. Om. Go. Fang Han looked at Lu Kong, and immediately turned around and followed him to the distance. Outside the group of immortals, in an elegant courtyard, he saw several disciples of the Dade royal family, and 3 or 4 other young men and women. That, Prince of the Treasure, is impressively listed. Lu Kong, you brought someone. That's right. Prince of Bao looked at Lu Kong with the owner of Hongyi County. Fang Han came over and looked over. I have some chores here, I am going to do it. €. Do you have some chores? Fang Han haha €. Smiled. Prince Bao, let's solve the problem between us first. Chapter 22, Flying Sword. Chapter 22 Phagian. Fang Han haha €. Laughed loudly, not only surprised the principal of the treasure, but also let the eyes of the other princesses of the Dade royal family project to him. Not only that, but also several young men and women also turned their eyes toward he shot it. These young men and women, the body of the majesty is not inferior to the princess of the emperor, one of the men, the breadth is deeper, if nothing, such as mountains and rocks. Fang Han was swept by the eyes of these young men and women. He seemed to feel that his weight, explosiveness, speed, heartbeat, and so on were all seen by the other side. In this, there are 9 masters of psychic spirits. When the heart moved, Fang Han was secretly vigilant. The realm of Zhejiang Tongling began to develop the potential of the brain. The human spirit is very sensitive. It is almost able to see through all the vitality of the opponent. It is also more self-inner, and its own internal organs are vividly in sight, such as palm prints. This state is extremely horrible, otherwise it cannot be called the word, psychic. To cultivate into such a realm, it is necessary to cultivate magical mental exercise techniques, such as the Yuanshan spiritual skills, that can only be learned by the inner disciples. Is it true that these people are inside disciples? A thought rose in the heart of Fang Han. However, at this time, he had no time to think about it, because Prince of the Treasure had stood up, his eyes swept his body up and down. Oh. It seems that you were very unconvinced that I defeated you last time, and worked hard for 20. Heaven, with results, I want to beat me and make a bad breath. It seems that your city is too shallow. I will report, I don't know how to revenge the gentleman, it's not too late to be a big thing. If you don't want to, I still admire that you are a personal thing, you are so eager to send death, it is no different from a ruthless rogue, oh. I have to make it difficult, and then defeat you once again, this time is not as simple as vomiting blood. I don't want to be a big weapon, I just ask for grievances in my heart. I have revenge for hatred, complaints and resentment, 10 years is too long, I just want to fight for the future is unpredictable, now is everything. Life is short, a dream, if you are pregnant for 10 years, it is better to fight now. This is brave, your heart is too heavy, and the fairy road is difficult. I am afraid that I will not be able to cultivate mysterious secrets for the rest of my life. Immortality is brave and daring, and constantly kills everything, not conspiracy, self-deprecation. Coup is not the city's plan, bending the spirit, on the road of the immortal road, cannot accommodate these bends. Fang Han's tone suddenly became calm, and he was calm and calm. He was philosophical and refuted in discourse. He actually accused the Oking of the treasury from speaking. Since taking the Jui Jindan, Fang Han has become agile, all kinds of whimsy, ideas, and endless, and these days have been hard to read. The world, there have been a lot of experience. The book, The Worlds, not only has astronomical geography, exotic treasures, but also many sentiments. Feathering the door to teach a supreme book, it is impossible not to accommodate his own sentiments. These undoubtedly opened a door for the soul of Fang Han, making him more connotation, has gradually changed his mind and broadened his horizons. Now he suddenly refutes the words of Principal of the Treasure, and his words are sharp, such as the sword and iron ride, suddenly floating. It is very different from the previous identity. At this time, no one would think that he is a slave to raising horses. Who listens to you nonsense? Principal Prince, face is extremely cold, and the body, hula, is already in front of Fang Han. The walking position is extremely secretive. I don't know how to step on it. Fang Han only felt a numb throat, and the other's fingers were like arrows, and they had already poked on the throat. This finger, the style and the martial arts in front of the King of the Treasure, is very different, with a secret, dark, cold, sinister style. Long hate fingering, the martial arts of the magic door long hate. The Red Lord of the county once again called out. Palace of the Treasure, not only learned the martial arts of Wangui Xiandao, but also learned the martial arts of the other veins of the 7 devils of the Devil's Gate. In the fairy martial art, he exhibited the magical martial arts, and he did not care. At this time, Fang Han could not hear the words of the owner of Hongyi County, because everything was too fast, and it was too fast. However, he has worked hard for 20 days and has been prepared for it. Step out, domineering, 7 feet. The body is like a river surge. Zhongshui pats the case, rolls up thousands of snow, heroes, princes and the wind in the world will be one step at a time, Zhongshan will be set, and the emperor will be the emperor. Fang Hanfu fluttering, between the steps of the flash, the momentum re-expanded, let the magic door 8 fingering, falling in the air. Subsequently, his foot moved, and the leg of the Kuixing kick was blown out. Between the legs, the breath swelled inside, and throughout his body, the muscles of the skin, all spread open, the brave body of the realm, a thunder and anger, the gods are down. The long breath, from the mouth and nose, spit out, long stunned, such as crane like a dragon, gathered into 274 words, 2 long poems, is the heart of the 7-star boxing, more added the momentum of this cold leg. The iron hoof is stepping on the mountain river, and the Kuixing is moving to the north. The legs are like 1,000 horses, the iron hoofs stepped over the mountains and rivers, and as a huge asterisk appeared in the air, between the feet, the stars were kicked and moved. At this point, Fang Han seems to have become the king of the stars in the sky. Lord of the stars, the leader of the stars. The vast stars, let me travel, the spirit and the universe of heaven and earth, and the stars, have established a mysterious and unpredictable connection. This momentum, between the main moments of Hongyi County, I couldn't help but admire it, and then turned into shock. Stars Gate, 7 stars boxing. How could he, how much secret is there on him? In addition, several other great disciples of the Dade dynasty, and a few more powerful young men and women, when Fang Han took a step and kicked a leg, they all showed surprise on their faces. How come so bad? At this time, Prince of the Treasure, did not expect Fang Hao to progress so quickly within a short period of 20 days. The bones on his body are as good as steel, arms, legs, swords, sharp axes, especially it is a breadth of body, more overbearing and tyrannical than the emperor who led the army. The martial arts of the Stars Gate has always been overbearing, and Jui Jindan is the elixir of the refinement of the Emperor Wangquan of the Devils. It contains the tyrannical atmosphere of a generation of emperors, and is integrated into the spirit of Fang Han. The stars of the stars, martial arts, but also complement each other. Last night, after the refining of Jui Jindan, the golden scent of Jindan was integrated into the spirit of Fang Han. It can be said that Fang Han is now the domineering of the stars and singers, which is transformed from the eternal magic of Huang Quan's emperor, and the spirit is oppressed and unparalleled. At this point, Fang Han himself knows that the Ju Jin Jindan has a spirituality. Now the spirit and his own spirit are closely combined to make his mind clearer and clearer. It was shocked by Fang Han Ayuro's leg method. The Ayuro principle of the treasury Ayuro breathed a sigh of relief, lifted his chest and abdomen, and shrank inward. His hands were like a screen, and he even counterattacked. Keep it, Fang Han once again sneered, his foot is 7 stars, but his hand is a trick of kickboxing boxing. The 10 fingers are like a bullet, and the nails are drawn to the neck of the king of princes, wrists, neck and aorta and other vital parts of the blood vessels. This move is fierce and overbearing, 10 fingers, like the people between the heavens and the earth, the heroes, gathered together, all the magical powers. Puff, on the face of King of the Treasure, a long blood mark was drawn. Enough. At this moment, a young man with a very well-balanced figure and a jade scorpion on his head stood up and raised his hand. Suddenly, a strand of Sensen swordsman was swallowed and turned into a 3-foot sword. There is no sword handle, just like the autumn water Yingxi, flying out of the air, in the air dragon snakes and squats, to the square cold, to stop the cold pursuit. Fang Han, be careful, this is the Feijian spirit. Lu Kong, the owner of Hongyi County was shocked. Oops. Fang Han looked at the flying sword to kill, knowing that this is not a means of martial arts, but that, flying sword, belongs to the spirit, the master of the supernatural level refining, the flesh cannot compete. So he quickly retreated, but this young man who released Feijian seems to be giving him a little lesson. The finger is empty and the finger is suddenly a shock. It bursts into dozens of shadows and even wraps his whole body. Fall. Fight. Feijian Jiangguang fell on his body, but at this moment, Fang Han only felt that his body was with the crouching Wangquan map, slightly shocked. N.A. Vel B in .c Om. The Jianguang did not even enter his own clothes, the news disappeared, and the outside was intact. Originally, in these 20 days, every day in the Red Yi County master practicing swords, Fang Han took the Huofu Wangquan map and collected it. Today, he does not practice the sword. He wears it on his body. He knows this picture, and it is incredible. Strength can save lives. Now, it is unexpected, and took away the other flying sword. What? The young man who released the flying sword saw his flying sword falling to the body of Fang Han. He disappeared and disappeared. His mind was repeatedly urging, but there was no sense of it. It seemed like a stone sinking into the sea. This shock is not a small feat. He is a disciple of the inner door. This flying sword is a spiritual instrument rewarded by the martial art. After the sacrifice, it runs freely, flying in the void, killing it up and down, not satisfied. It is full of thoughts to deal with a small foreign disciple. It is not a matter of words, but it is not expected that not only will not be dealt with, but the flying sword that is like life is taken away. This is equivalent to cutting a piece of meat on his body, and the heartache is bleeding. I looked away. I can't think of a brother, but also a good spirit. It was just a misunderstanding. Please return the flying sword to me. The young Mana Euro's eyes are cold and his tone has eased a lot. Do you want your flying sword? Go to Purple Electric Peak to pick it up. Fang Han Xinji moved. Chapter 23. Magic Device. Chapter 23. The Magic. Purple Mountain Peak, that is the place where the true disciple Fang Qingxie lived. When she became a true disciple, she killed 8 foreign disciples, Li Wei, although the elders punish her, but they did not impose any substantive punishment on her. The true disciple. In the mouth of Fang Hengkou, the words, Purple Peak, were spoken, and the faces of several people who suddenly appeared changed. In particular, the princess of the emperor of the Dade royal family, especially in the face, became very powerful and whispered. Humph, the most embarrassing thing is the king of the treasures, and the inside disciple, who just released Feijian. Prince of the treasure, was defeated by Fang Han, and his face was marked with a long blood mark. Bloody can be described as a face sweep. Take out the hemostasis jade from his arms and silently stop the blood. The young prince of the Dade dynasty gave a cold cry in his nose, and his eyes sparkled with extraordinary grievances. The hatred of hatred that is not shared with the sky is clearly transmitted from his eyes. The inner disciple who was taken away from the flying sword had to be furious and immediately started to work. However, after hearing the words, Zidianfang, he immediately showed deep scruples. My brother's slogan is not the same as a small sword. It is a great achievement, and the sects of the sects have given it. The best spirits, the demon slayers are countless. I hope you can return them, or else, this time you go out and practice, it is extremely dangerous. I am afraid that it will be harmed by the demons. Just now my younger brother took a lot of recklessness, but this is a small holiday. Unite together, go out and practice. Demonization is a big event. Fang Shidi can take care of the overall situation. I am here for the younger brother to Fang Shidi apologize. At this time, a woman who seems to be between the ages of 20 is talking. This woman is obviously also an inner disciple. She is very high profile. She has a face and a tall body, especially her legs are slender and her neck is white. A pair of eyes seem to be as moist as water, but occasionally there is a flash of light. There is a kind of leadership. Mr. Sister, several royal children of the Dade dynasty saw that the woman actually apologized. It seemed that she could not hang on her face and immediately explained what was going on, but the Mr. Sister put her hand on her hand and stopped their speech. There is also an apology, there is a kind of oppression, and there is a taste that wants to see the secrets of Fang Han. This woman is very powerful. The body is similar to the master of Bai Hai Zhen. It seems to be the master of the physical world. Now she wants to ask me about Feijian. I still give it. The crouching Wangquan map sealed things. It seems that they could not get out and expose the crouching Wangquan map. I am afraid that I will die immediately. Then, what is the preciousness of a scorpion? Just hand it over and see me as someone. Fang Han faced the eyes of this Mo Shiji, and his heart kept turning his thoughts. N-O-V-E in .C Om. The magic weapon is divided into the instrument, the spirit, the treasure, the Tao, the fairy. The instrument is a device that concentrates on mana. As long as it is a master of magical powers, it has the power and can be concise. The spirit, it is necessary to cultivate to the fifth of the mysterious secrets. The master of heaven and earth can use the force to arrange a large array and depict the mana on the items before they can refine. A scorpion, a powerful power, is a self-defense artifact that the practitioners of the flesh are dreaming of. Just like this, spirit of the wind, after the ordinary people drop blood and sacrifice, they can use the mind to command, fly up and down, kill the enemy, do not consume their physical strength, cannot be flooded into the water, cannot be burned into the fire. One person faces the thousand. The military Wanma can be calm. This sword-flying sword, if it falls into the secular dynasty, with this thing for yourself to win a country, the position of the marquis, for generations to enjoy the prosperity of wealth as a breeze. In fact, if the Palace of the Treasures can have a genius and return to the Dade dynasty, I am afraid that I can shake the throne of the prince and become a prince. The spirit is precious. Even among the hundreds of thousands of disciples in the Feather Gate, only some of the inner disciples can be possessed. Outside disciple, it is impossible to have a spirit, at most it is a common instrument. Now Fang Han has received such a spiritual sword, not to mention that he cannot get it out. Even if he can get it, he is not willing to give it back to others. Mr. Sister, the current situation is to go to the Blue Moon country in the desert of the Bohai Sea, and to save the people of Li Min in the hanging down. I know this overall situation, but the Lady of Purple Power Peak, when I gave this instrument I only told me that I can defend myself, resist the flying sword and kill, and do a big thing for her, but I don't know the usage. So I took the flying sword of my brother. I really can't do anything. So, I will go back to Zidianfeng tomorrow. Please Missy took out the spiritual sword from the seal in this instrument. Then how about returning to the brother? Fang Han Ling machine moved, pushing everything to Fang Qingshe, first past the current level, and then went back and found a way. Oh, Qingshe sister actually gave you a spiritual device. Let you do a big thing for her. Mr. Moshi heard the cold and crap, his eyes moved, it seems that he guessed it. What happened? After a while, she said, in this case, let's prepare for this evening, and set off tomorrow to go to the Bohai Desert. Mr. Sister, my spirit sword. It is impossible for him to take it away. The inner disciple who released Fajian, looked stunned, and hurriedly looked at Fang Han. I have my own opinion. Ms. Moshi once again waved her hand. In this case, I will leave. Fang Han sang a promise and turned to, King of Princes, Peace Prince, let's play today. I have learned your strength. I will let you know what is called regret. Prince bow cold and cold. Why, just now, Ms. Mo has said that the overall situation is heavy. I am a person who takes care of the overall situation. I will go back to Zidian Peak to go to the Bohai Desert. Fang Han a euro smiled and turned and went out. When he went alone outside the city, he communicated with the beast card. After a while, the Hio's fairy rushed and landed in front of him. Fang Han, you have become a foreigner for 20 days, why didn't you call me? What have you done these days? Crane Fairy seems to be very dissatisfied. These days, I was beaten, I practiced martial arts and beat people back. Fang Han told himself about the Palace Prince. Anyway, the Crane Fairy is equivalent to a little girl of years old. Telling her when she is happy is equivalent to letting her be determined. Giggling, sure enough, the Prince of the Treasure made the Crane Fairy happy. The last time I went out, I met a golden-winged dapong bird, twice as big as me. I almost got him. It seems that I should work hard to cultivate and go back to revenge. You can also cultivate. Fang Han turned over the back of the Crane Fairy, flying up. Of course, my body can be much stronger than you. The Songhae Wansho boxing of Yuhuaman is still based on the change of our crane-shaped movement. What I am practicing now is Yuan spirit, which was once taught to me by Fang Qingshe. What? You will learn the Yuanshan spirit from the disciples. Fang Han Wan did not expect that the Crane Fairy would actually work hard. I have cultivated to the 8th place in the flesh. I have trained a lot of skins in my body. The body is tough again. Basically, I have reached a limit. If I go up, I have to cultivate my spirit. Then you need a lot of spiritual exercises. That is to say, if Fang Han does not exercise the spirit of the practice now, and then practice hard, the most physical body concise, but can never step into the 9th weight, the realm of psychic. There is no way to develop the brain. You must know that after entering the realm of psychic, it is a watershed, with the spiritual power to see through the enemy's vitality, reaching the realm of the 10 death, and more unforgettable ability. In the rumor, you must step into the eve of the magical mystery. You can reach a thing that you want to forget something, and remember to remember something deeply. This kind of realm is pure spiritual cultivation and the development of brain potential. Some foundations are the techniques of mental exercise. Originally thought that he had to enter the inner door to learn, but did not expect the crane fairy to be able to learn physically. Hio's fairy, that Yuanshan spirit, can you teach me? Fang Han Dao. Of course, but you can't tell others. Otherwise, the door rules of the feather door can kill me to eat the crane, but I am a little scared. The crane fairy quietly said. This kind of benefit, the fool will tell others. Fang Han nodded hard. Purple electric peak was in front of him. Fang Han fell from the back of the crane, but saw Fang Wei standing in front of the room where he lived. How, Fang Han, finally got out of the crowd. Become a foreign disciple. It turned out to be a girl. How do you know that I will return to Purple Power Peak today, Missy? Fang Han always has a mysterious feeling about this square, and feels that it is not as simple as a leader. I saw the crane fairy flying out. I know you will come back. You ask the big sister. I am going to tell you something. Missy received the elder's biography today, and has already gone out to the Bohai Desert. Going. It seems like a big event happened in the Blue Moon country in the Bohai Desert. Fang Wei Dao. Right, I heard that the outside disciples have to go out and practice. Are you ready to go out? Yes, I will go back to Zidian Peak for one night, and then take the crane ferry out tomorrow. Fang Han Dao. If this is the case, then I will not bother you. If you can get the number of inside disciples in this experience, it is a big happy event. Fangjia will definitely cancel your servant's identity. Let you be their core disciple. At that time, you have to take care of you in Fangjia. Fang Xiao smiled a little, then turned and left. Let Fang Han look at her back, thinking for a moment. Yuhuaman, the inner door of the Naxianyuan, just the inner disciple who was taken away from the spirit sword, and several inner disciples of Mo Shiji, all gathered together. Mu Shiji, a foreign disciple, can't have a spirit. How can I take away my flying sword? This flying sword is my life, I must take it back. The instrument on his body, I guess is not the magic weapon of our feathering door, but a magical weapon. Magic. Yes, it is a magic weapon. I have heard of rumors. Fang Qingshe and the magician of the congenital Mozong seem to have had some entanglement. Maybe, the devil sent her magic weapon. Now she arranged Fang Han to enter this feathering the door, and giving him the magic weapon. It seems to be a piece of chess that she cultivated. It involves the congenital demon, so I did not shoot today. Take back the flying sword for you. Mosher Jaya Euro's eyes flashed a lot of speculation. Chapter 24. Yuanshan Spirit. Chapter 24 Yuanshan Psychology. It turns out that listening to Mo Shiji's analysis is really like this. I don't know what Fang Qingshe wants him to do. An inside disciple quickly agreed. This is likely to involve the battle between the true disciples, and we will not be able to intervene for the time being. Mosher Jaya Euro's eyes are cold and cold. A Euro feathering the door. If you really want to get into the inner core right struggle, you still have to become a true disciple. If you don't a Euro T become a true disciple, everything is a struggle, and our inner disciples will intervene in the struggle of the true disciple. The end will definitely not be too good. Mu Shiji, then my mouthful spirit sword was collected in vain. The inner door disciple voice revealed that Sensen killed the machine. N.A. Velpi in .c Ohm. This thing, I will give you a way to find a way. A sip of a different instrument can be put into the secular, and a city with a population of 100,000 can't be changed. Of course, it can't fall into the hands of others. We plan to kill the Prince of Red Powder this time. That enchanting, I have already practiced the Phagian sword array, and you must have your spirit sword to be able to come in handy. How could it be a failure? Ms. Moa Euro's sister spoke and her eyes calmed down. It seemed to be a good idea. That is of course, this time if you can kill the Red Powder Prince, Mo Shiji will be able to get a Yin Yang Wan Shodan, take it, break through the bottleneck, step into the mysterious secret, become a true disciple is just around the corner. An inner disciple smiled. Nothing wrong, although I have cultivated into the realm of physical transformation, but the spirit is still far from perfect. I have not reached the point of forgetting to forget something. If I get the yin and yang, I can make up for this loss. Further, at the same time, the spirit expands, breaks the limit, opens the door of magical powers, and gains magical power. Mosher Jaya Euro's dignified way. A Euro E is for the spiritual sword. I will definitely get back from Fang Han a Euro's hand, and I will also bring the magic weapon on his body. The magic weapon on his body is not a small thing. If it can fall in our hands, the grasp of killing the Red Powder Prince is much bigger. Today, you are all practicing and adjusting your mind and body to the best condition. I will go to a place first. Mr. Mo, where are you going? The contradiction between Bai Yangfeng, Zidianfeng Fengqingshe and Bianfeng Jinshitai are really small. I went to Bai Yangfeng to talk about it, and borrowed a few cranes to quickly reach the Bohai Desert. Otherwise, although we have some small implements, they are far less useful than the cranes. Ms. Moshi stood up. Originally, the outside disciple, the inner disciple, is not qualified to support the beast. Only the true disciple, who was rewarded with a mountain, was able to raise the beast. It was said that a small sect was opened in the sect. True biography, is a disciple who can open a sect of the sect, and cultivates talents by himself. In the martial art, the strength is unimaginable, and it is equal to the princes of the country. Only become a true disciple, is the real disciple of Yuhuaman, able to participate in the decision of the upper level. A spirit is not the same thing, the group of Moshiji will certainly not give up, and the secret of, the crouching Wangquan, on my body, and now it is slightly leaked, what should I do? Leave the feather door? No, if I am practicing in the mysterious secrets, I can still leave the Yuha gate. Now I am leaving, I am afraid that if I am alone, I will not be able to bear it. Outside the Yuha mountain, in the depths of the barren hills, in a hidden valley, Feng Han took the picture of the crouching Wangquan. He is not in the purple electric peak now, but let the crane fairy fly back with him, and fly to thousands of miles away from the feathered mountain, an unknown barren mountain, which has landed. As for the crane fairy, he said some of the Ming Chen spirit, after the specific exercises, he cheated in a few words. Now is the time to ponder the yellow springs. In this legend, the picture of Huang Quan's emperor is now on the body, and it feels like a hot potato. It is impossible to throw it away. It doesn't seem to be safe to throw it. At this time, on the picture, in the quiet Wangquan River, in addition to the last collection of silver 7 smoke, there is a flying sword. This flying sword, without a hilt, is a pure iron ice crystal. There are countless hieroglyphics on it, which are the winds of the road. These wind-shaped characters form an essay, a picture, and keep running, as if it is a sunset, never ending. Feng Han is now studying the worlds, and knows some magic weapons. The wind-shaped text above the spiritual sword is mana, and the article is a large array. It is the great array of mana that can be condensed into a sword that can have magical power. How can I take it out? And even if I take it out, the spirit that has been squandered by the blood, I can't sip blood again, unless there is a master of the mysterious secret, using his powerful mana, to wipe the spirit of the original master's blood. Go with. Feng Han touched the picture and crouched on Huang Quan, still a common picture. He knows that even if he takes out the spiritual sword, unless he asks for the Qing Shui, he uses the magical power to erase the spirit of blood inside, otherwise he will not be able to sip blood. Because all the instruments and the spirits, when they were just released, were tempered by the real fire, and the mana contained in them was very pure, without any thought, it was a group of innocent power. Whoever drops his own blood can control this power. Or to practice Yuanshan spirit. After thinking for a long time, Feng Han still cultivated the Yuanshan spiritual skills that he had just obtained from the mouth of He Shanzi. He sat down on his knees and held the Tianmen acupoint in the center of his head in one hand, and adjusted all his spirits, all placed in the Tianmen hole at the top of his head. The child wants to die and repair the heavenly gate. Gradually, according to the exercise spirit of Yuan Chen's spiritual technique, he first imagined the Tianmen as a dark world. This kind of imagination means that his own understanding of the brain is dark. Later, he imagined that his whole body's blood, bone marrow, internal organs, and fascia were turned into a pure white color, such as the whiteness of the crane feathers, the essence, gradually rising, reaching the inside of his Tianmen. This means that with the essence of the body, dispel the darkness of the brain and know yourself. The meaning of imagination is very profound. In this imaginary, Feng Han clearly felt his body. It seems that he was taken out step by step, the body's blood and blood elements, all turned into light, to shine on the brain. The body is a little empty. To exercise the spirit and cultivate the potential of the brain, you need strong physical support. He finally understood this truth. Fortunately, his body is several times stronger than the master of the general brave realm, especially the Ju Jin Jin Dan drug in the bone marrow. The essence is more powerful. Gradually, the dark world inside the Tianmen cave was illuminated by this white light, gradually dispelling the darkness. In the depths of the darkness and distantness, Feng Han faintly saw a hidden and quaint, heavy it seems to be a circle and not a circle. The texture on the gate is rich and delicate, one by one, just like the gully of the brain. The appearance of the whole brain turned out to be a magical door. This is the door of the magical power. If you break through the door of this magical power, you will be able to see the magical power of reaching the magical power. Fang Hengsen said, trying his best to use his spirit to imagine his own blood as white light and shine on Tianmen's mind. However, no matter how he shines, the dark fog in the mind of the day is increasing. Even the Spirit of God can't be seen clearly, let alone open the mysterious door in my mind. Finally, I felt that my spirit was very exhausted. I wanted to sleep. Fang Han quickly woke up and all the imagination dissipated from my mind. It's so weak. No wonder those who have had lovesickness, why are they getting thinner day by day, and the mental consumption is more powerful than the consumption on the. After practicing Yuanshan spiritual skills, Fang Han felt that he was in a state of wilting and rested for a while before recovering. But when this came back, he felt that he was clear-headed and his mind was much more flexible. He seemed to be able to imagine the appearance of his brain in his head. Try a drop of blood, anyway, this place is a wild mountain, and I am not afraid of what is wrong with this picture. The cultivation of Yuanshan spiritual technique has achieved little success, but Fang Han is still far from reaching the realm of psychic, but he has a general understanding of the human spirit. When I bite my finger, the blood dripped out, and a drop of it flowed to the Yanfu Wangquan. A strange thing happened. This picture, like cotton, absorbed the blood of Fang Han in one bite, and Fang Han clearly saw it. In the picture, the Wangquan River actually waved slightly. At the same time, my own soul seems to have a flesh and blood feeling with this picture. Suddenly, Fang Han felt his own spirit and fell into the picture of Wangquan River. All sides were rolling waves, a yellow earth, and the spirit swimming in the river. Then I saw the spiritual sword in the river. Therefore, Fang Han used the spirit and grabbed the past. The flash of light flashed. This spirit wind sword actually flew out from the picture inside the Wangquan River, fell into the hands of Fang Han, cut the palm of Fang Han, the blood penetrated in. Suddenly, there is a feeling of flesh and blood conveyed to his heart. As this spirited sword, I was sacrificed by blood. It is impossible, it has been smelted by others, and it requires the master of the mysterious secret to wipe out the spirit of blood. Is it this crouching of Wangquan, in addition to the magic of others? In addition, there is the effect of wiping the spiritual mark of blood. In that case, I am developed. Fang Hengsen thought, the spirit is moving, hesitating. The large array of spirits in the sword is running, a blast, flying away, surrounded by Jiangguang, and a small tree with a thick bole from his thousands of steps, cut off the waist. Fang Han heart, suddenly ecstasy. Chapter 25, Mountain River List 10th. Chapter 25, the 10th chapter of the Mountain River. Jiangguang shuttled between the mountains and forests, and rolled up a blue blast. Wherever he went, the trees were destroyed and the rocks shattered. The edge of the Lingfang sword is really sharp. The spiritual winds, above it, running to the extreme, only see a blue shadow between the flights. Oh, when the mind moved, the spiritual sword immediately stopped running, suspended in front of himself, and fell silent into the sword. Sure enough, a sword is in hand, ghosts don't stay. If you go to the world, my sword can handle thousands of people, unless they ambush in advance, strong bows, gunpowder together, kill me. Demonstrate the power of the spiritual sword, and Fang Hanyi still has not finished. He knows that if he goes to the world, he is not afraid of the siege of the army. The master of the general flesh, even if cultivated to the realm of 10 changes, is also afraid of the siege of the secular army. 1,000-strong army, which is a master of the 5-fold spiritual power of the flesh, a sword, and a strong bow, can easily kill people who have changed their minds. But if there is a spirit in hand, a sword flies, a few miles away from the broken armor, easy and incomparable, thousands of people cannot help. The spirit is 1,000 enemy. Now Fang got the spirit of the wind, the strength increased. The only fly in the ointment is that this spiritual sword has a lot of defense, and if there is a dense arrow rain, there is still no way to intercept it one by one. More cannot carry people to fly. Only the sword-level flying sword, the real baby, has both offensive and defensive, can be divided into light and shadow, and changeable, N.A., vel p in .c ohm. For example, suddenly changing into a group of transparent large steel balls, wrapped people in it, carrying people flying quickly, resisting the killing of various weapons, sinking into the water, swimming the underwater world. However, the treasures of the treasure level are too rare, and each piece can cause hurricanes and blood, not a coincidence, or an important figure of the martial art, which cannot be passed down. When refining treasures, one needs special materials, and the other is the need for supernatural powers. 10 strong ones are peerless masters who have entered the longevity secret. The spirit is already rare. Baby is not thinking about him first. This spirit sword has been refining, but there are still some words in the house of Mo Shiji, a After all the exercises, Fang Han called the crane fairy through the million beast, and carried himself back to the purple peak, resting quietly for one night. On the second day, he rode the Hio's ferry to the plain in the center of the Yuha mountain. In the place agreed outside the plain, he saw that Lu Kong and the Hongyi County Lord also stood each other with a crane. Ida Euro-S just that there Euro-S no such thing as a crane in a ferry. It seems that the red-eyed county owner, Lu Kong, and some of the true disciples have a relationship. Plus Missy Fang Qingshe has gone to the Bohai Desert, is this two demons, instructing Shang to attack the Blue Moon State, and other reasons. Feathering the door, there are also battles between the 108 true disciples. It seems that I have to be more careful. Fang Han thought. Fang Han, are you here? The owner of Hongyi County saw Fang Han fall down and quickly went forward. The people of the Dade royal family and Mo Shiji are already waiting for us. Sure enough, the voice just fell, and there were more than 10 sounds in the sky, and they landed down. They were the princes of the Dade German royal family, and several inner disciples headed by Mo Shiji. These few people, Fang Han have seen. However, there is a man who is newly joined. This man stands next to Mo Shiji and wears a green-colored robes. It is not an ordinary vestment of a disciple, nor is it a water-fire cloak of an inner disciple. It seems to be a spirit. Clothes are actually spirits, but this is not the same thing, guarding the body, not being invaded by evil spirits, protecting the body. It is much more important than the killing spirit like Phagian. The flesh is the source of the magical powers. Even if you are a master of the sacred mystery, you must carefully protect your body. Otherwise, if the flesh is killed, any supernatural power will disappear immediately and the ash will be destroyed. Original brother. Seeing the man in the green cloak, everyone was very respectful. This is the 10th place in the Shan list, the original sword empty brother. Hongyi County owner quietly touched the cold. Fang Hana Euro-S heart is also a glimpse. Actually, he is an inner disciple and a figure on the Mountain River list. The inner disciple, a total of 3 or 5,000 people, is the 9th and 10th person in the flesh, or has a top-level implement, or a master of the spirit. The inner disciple will conduct a test every year. The top 10 masters of the test can be famous on the Shan list. At the same time, the martial art will give these 10 disciples a very generous reward. Or medicinal herbs, or spirits, make them better and better practice, step into the mysterious secrets and become true disciples. It can be said that the 10 inner door disciples on the Mountain River list are extremely high-ranking and can even be comparable to true disciples and have the power to kill. At the same time, their means are also extremely powerful, with the magic weapon, comparable to the master of the mysterious secret. Such a person, from the depths of his heart, gives Fang Han a deep pressure. Original brother. Fang Han also echoed. Well, you are Fang Han. Purple electric peak people. The original sword empty eyes looked at Fang Han. Yes, very good, you took away the left brother's spirit sword. When I saw Fang Qingshe, I will tell her all about it. Oops, it seems that this original sword is not happy with me. Fang Han heard that the tone of the original sword is very bad. Well, the original brother, the overall situation is heavy, let's go to the Bohai Desert first. The purple sister of Fangdian has already arrived in the Blue Moon country. In case she let her go first, I am afraid that the yin and yang Wan Shodan. Mo Shiji faintly said. Mo Shimei said it. The original Zhengkong once again looked at Fang Han, and waved his hand and floated directly on the crane. The crane shook its wings and rose to the sky. His clothes seemed to have the function of floating in the void. Unlike other people who ride a crane, they need to lie deep into the back of the crane to prevent it from being blown off by the wind and fall directly to death. Go. Several people in the Dade royal family, especially the palace prince, also went to the crane, and looked at Fang Han deeply, and skyrocketed. Fang Han, you have to be careful, this time you don't ask for merit, but you can't ask for it. Or, you can't go. The main eyes of Hongyi County saw everything clearly. Nature is going, not practicing, how to become a talent. I still want to enter the inner door. In the future, there may not be a name for me. Fang Han combined the Ju Jin Jin Dan, and brought a trace of Huang Quan'a Euro's Emperor domineering, between speaking, having strong self-confidence, infecting others, has completely escaped the servant character of the wretched, timid, and scrupulous. These people have to deal with you, I will never stand by. But when they face the demon, they dare not go too far. Lu Kang said, we mainly use their spirits to resist the magic among those who are in the devil. We'll fly the night fork. Go to the Bohai Desert and say. Fang Hanqi had a crane back and flew up to the sky. He followed Mo Jiji, the original Zhangkong, behind him, but he tried to figure out something. He knew that he had collected a piece of spirit and revealed that he had a powerful weapon in his possession. It was already a great disaster. This group of people, although they are all disciples of Yuhuaman, but in the secular, there is no one who is sinister and sinister. The door valve is definitely not a good gentleman. You must know that the outstanding children of the royal family can be sent to the Yuhuaman. These people are not only first-rate, but also eager to be first-rate. Now the reason why these people dare not do it themselves is not because of the door rules, but the deterrent of Fang Qingshe. Fang Han cannot believe what the same door love in front of the spirit, thinner than paper. Yuhuaman recruits disciples, does not recruit civilians honestly pay, and may not be calculated for the magic weapon, intrigue. The royal disciples are different, the education from childhood is intriguing, the experience is slippery, the benefits are maximized, long ago brought the habits of the imperial court and the door valve to the door of Yuha. Fang Hengsen knows that if he arrives in the desert of the Bohai Sea, he will be killed by a knife and seize the spirit of his body. The best way for him now is to stay in the door of the feathers and not go out. However, this will also be used by some people to find a fork, take the opportunity to teach themselves, is still taking the spirit. It is better to be as chaotic as possible, take the opportunity to fish in troubled waters. Moreover, what he needs now is a lot of actual combat. The experience between life and death can inspire the spirit and enter the ninth heavy spiritual state of the flesh. The cranes are flying fast in the sky, and one mountain is thrown behind them, but every 1 or 2 hours, everyone will land and rest for a while. After all, the crane is also the flesh and blood, and the back of the camel is 1 or 2 pounds. Heavy people, flying for a long time, are also very difficult, need rest, drink water to replenish energy. This group of feathered disciples, when resting, is also clearly divided into small groups. Fang Han, Lu Kang, Hongyi County is a small group. The 3 men and 2 women of the Dade royal family are a small group. And a few inner disciples of Mo Shiji are a group. The 10th place in the Mountain River list, the mysterious, original sword heir, is a single person, and occasionally talks with Mo Shiji, the rest are not very reasonable. When it was late at night, Fang Han saw that the front stretch of mountains had disappeared. Instead, there was an endless desert. The bright moon shone on the desert, the cold glory sprinkled, and the desert seemed to have been smeared mercury-like. It has already reached the desert of the Bohai Sea, and the desert of the Bohai Sea is boundless. The Blue Moon City is in the middle of the Bohai Desert. We will have to fly for 1 day to arrive tomorrow. We have to take a good rest this evening and raise our spirits. The cranes are tired. The former sword heir first landed the crane into the desert. Fang Han saw it and landed. The disciples outside the gate of this group of feathers landed in the desert, point to the bonfire, drink water, drink and sit still. Fang Han is careful to guard the Hio's ferry, listening to the 6 roads, eyes wide. At the same time, in the desert west, from the stretch of sand dunes dozens of miles away here, a pair of secret eyes have long been staring at them. Chapter 26, Red Powder Prince. Chapter 26 Prince of Red Powder. Hey, a large-scale desert scorpion with a fist size was smashed out of the sand by the Hio's ferry, and it was drowned in a mouth, thrown into the fire, and burned out the smell of smashing. Hefengji had a lot of fun, and he kept slashing in the desert, smashing one big one after another, and throwing it into the fire after he died. The scorpions in the desert are big and evil, come out at night, absorb dew, prey, very vicious, and people in the desert can't live without being bitten. However, this group of disciples of the feather door, there are vestments on the body, to drive away hundreds of worms, scorpion ants poisonous mosquitoes to avoid the wind, but do not care about these small troubles. Fang Han is still sitting still, trying to figure out the magical effect of Yuanshan spirit. Since he cultivated the Yuanshan spirit yesterday, he felt that this is the real way of cultivation and the key to opening the door of the magical power. Now, as soon as he has time, he tries to figure out all the time, pondering the mystery of it, and familiar with the rhythm structure of various parts of his body. Cultivation to the realm of psychic, spiritual instinct, internal organs, bone marrow, are vivid in the eyes, such as the palm line. Although Fang Han did not do this now, but also felt that the more cultivated, the body is more and more clear, just like the crystal is cleaned, and gradually become transparent. The only thing that can't be seen clearly is that his brain is still the darkness of the shackles. The brain is a closed door to the magical powers. He refuses to open the cold and refuses to let Fang Han open, releasing the magical power. Lu Kong, the owner of Hongyi County, also sat cross-legged, and did not know what to cultivate, the spirit of internal cultivation and the practice of blood. Although there is a lack of water in the desert, they all have clean clothes, and true water, which can replenish body water at any time, clean the whole body from pollution, keep clean, and feel comfortable in the harsh environment. Without the help of these instruments, even if you are a master of the realm of change, you have to stay in the desert for a long time, and you have to be languid. All the disciples of Yu Huaman were quiet, doing everything, and there was no conversation. The atmosphere was very quiet, like the kind of silence before the storm. The night wind blew and blew the bonfire. Hey, hee hee. In the distant sand dunes, there was a screaming scream, the scream of the jackal, like a beast whistling, screaming. What is that? Hearing this call, Fang Han's soul felt inexplicable and felt a horror. When he opened his eyes, he found that the original sword of the Oshan Rivera S10 stood up, and Moa's sister stood up, and several inner disciples also stood. Ida up. The 3 men and 2 women of the Dade dynasty also stood up. Lu Kong, the owner of Hongyi County, also stood up. Many cranes flew up into the sky, and even the Hio's fairy also rushed. The million animals uploaded her voice. Fang Han, surrounded by enemies, very horrible, I flew to the sky to avoid it is. After all, the crane is a crane. When it is shocked, it will fly to the sky immediately. It will not be as calm as a human being, and will not be accompanied by this group of disciples. Is there an enemy? Fang Han also stood up and saw the distance, the figure was building, and the hoof sounded. On the sand dunes in the distance, the crowds rushed over like the tides, killing the air. Putting the spirit on the eyes, I saw the people who surged in the tides, all wearing scales, riding camels, holding sandals with huge scimitars, back arches with arrows, hundreds of thousands, surrounded by all directions. Those camels, all white hair, running like a fly, is the white dragon camel, in the desert, comparable to 1,000 horses, explosive, speed, very fast, people riding on the camel, it seems to go down the boat. Is this the legendary sand show? Fang Han has heard of satay, which is a fierce and brutal in the desert, eating human flesh and drinking blood. He specializes in robbing past business trips and even harassing boarders. Especially, he likes to grind children into plasma and make them grape blood wine. It now appears that this group of sudden appearances of the sand, the fierceness of the body, like the **** devil, is indeed fierce. What is that? Among the sands, Fang Han also saw some heads with long corners, whole body scales, and the same magical person as the feathering door. Obviously, this is the evil man who lives in the abyss of the earth. Fortunately, when the entry of the disciple of the feathers, the assessment is to kill the demon. Otherwise, suddenly encounter these magic people, as long as they are normal people, the psychological will produce fear. Hey, the overwhelming arrow rain is dense, like a locust. The arrow's hole is very strong and seems to tear everyone's body. This group of sand rafts actually stayed outside the 500 steps, first shot with intensive arrows and rain. Fortunately, the cranes fly fast in the sky, otherwise they must not be injured in the face of such shooting. Bright moon, desert, satay, arrow rain, it constitutes a dangerous, bloody, and thrilling desert wild picture. Damn, Fang Hanshong, pulled out the copyright A per mil, danced into a sword flower, protected his face and other vital parts, and flew the arrows that were shot. Vel B in .c ohm. There were a lot of arrows on his vestments, and they were all bounced off and could not penetrate. The vestments of the feather door are woven from the silk of 5 kinds of silkworms. The upper part is also filled with mana. The ordinary knife can't penetrate. This arrow is powerful, but it can't shoot through the vestment. However, the powerful penetrating power of the arrow still makes him feel painful. If he has reached the realm of bravery, the inner layer of the skin has a thick layer of meat film that can offset the collision. Now the body cannot bear it. Let's lean together. Hongyi County Master. Lu Kong faced the shooting of the arrow rain, and immediately with Fang Han back to back, Zhang Guang fluttering, smashing the arrow rain, especially the sword of the Red Yi County, even the air the mosquitoes in the middle can cut off their wings, and there are vestments to protect most of the identity and block the arrow rain of the vital part. Hey, a bunch of ants, let the Lord come out. Suddenly, a lightning-like fine man, rising into the sky, wandering in the air, suddenly the empty arrow rain was swept away. The sand shovel with a machete on the white dragon camel, which was hundreds of steps away, was swept by this lightning-like crystal monster. The scales on the body were ruptured, and then the upper body was completely cut off. The blood rose from the sky and the internal organs. The intestines flowed to the ground. Bloody spurts. Section A, Section A, Section A, Section. Dozens of satés have been shackled and dropped down the camel. This flying sword is so imposing. It is even better than the spirit sword. This original sword is empty, the means is indeed fierce. I am not his opponent, but if the crouching Wangquan map can play a role, he received this Phagian, I will have an opportunity to deal with him. But he is an important person in the Feather Gate. As long as he does not deal with me, I don't need to provoke him, but the heart of the defense is indispensable. It is not a bad thing. Fang Hengsen secretly calculated. Ha 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 ha, ha 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 ha. It is not a disciple inside the door of Yuha, one of the top 10 masters of the Mountain River list, the original sword empty, a silver snake sword, is the blood of 1,000 years of silver snake, mixed with 10 fire red copper the superior spirit, only a little bit, can reach the realm of the treasure. With this silver snake sword, you don't know how many disciples have killed me. I finally waited for you to enter the Bohai Desert today. Just then, a long shout, rising to the sky. Accompanied by this shouting, it was a pink demon light, emitting a long sword with a burst of scent, and when it was shocked, it immediately caught the silver snake sword of the original sword. Two flying swords collided in the sky, like a pink dragon, a silver dragon, biting each other, bursting out of the sky. Subsequently, the two flying swords were all shrunk back. It seems that there are scruples. At the same time, hundreds of thousands of sand rafts, sand drifting in general, forming a two-headed snake, a young man wearing pink clothes, the demon, slowly came up from the sand. Red Dust Mozong, Red Powder Prince. The original Zhangkong saw this pink young man appear, look a glimpse, Mo Shiji and several other inner disciples also dignified, Fang Han clearly felt the oppressive atmosphere. This is the Red Powder Prince. In the legend, kill him, can you get a yin and yang longevity? Fang Han looked at this pink dress, the demon young man, immediately thought of the words of the elders of the Feather Door. Yes, this is the prince. The fascinating Red Powder Prince blinked with a strange light and swept over the faces of the people. Fang Han found that he did not look at the man, his eyes were in Mo Shiji and Hongyi County. Lord, the two great German royal princesses swept away and seemed to be stripping their clothes. You feathered the door, want to kill this prince, even rewarded a yin and yang shodan. This is your feathering door to teach, the cost of your own long-lived secret body, refining the supreme golden Dan. The prince has a little thought of himself, kill yourself and get this remedy. The Red Powder Prince is slow and steady. Red Powder Prince, you actually set an ambush in the dark, want to destroy us. Do you think we did not find the sand alloy? We deliberately fell to the ground, leading you out of the hole. Mosher J a euro s faint words. A euro o a don't a euro t think you are fooled. A euro. Is it? I don't know, some of your inner disciples have joined together to build a few pieces of swords, and they have become a swordsman. They want to kill me. If I don't know the news, then I will be a red powder. This is the plan to count the top 10 devils. It is time for you to show up. The Red Powder Prince, with a wave of his hand, suddenly between the distant dunes, suddenly rose 10 high and ***** shadows. The black shadow jumped into the air, more than 10 feet high, and actually did not fall down. Two small and large flesh wings were unfolded behind the scenes. They kept flashing and slowly glided and fell to the side of the Red Powder Prince. Magic will, fly the night fork. Mo Shiji's face changed obviously. Chapter 27. Heaven, Earth, People, 3 Demons. Chapter 27. Heaven, Earth, People, 3 Devils. Flying Night Fork. The fierce monster in the legend, the whole body of reinforced iron bones, the power is endless, like a ghost, the growth of flesh wings behind, can gliding at low altitude, is the leader of the underground abyss, also known as the magic. Especially the flying night fork, extremely intelligent, Similar to human beings, martial arts deep, because the ability to fly, the master below the flesh is simply invincible. In the face of this kind of magic, only the masters of the magical powers can suppress and counterbalance. Especially the skin of the Feyui fork, the hard bone on the outside, the flying sword is difficult to open, the internal vitality is extremely powerful. Even if the head is cut off, the lower body can continue to kill, and only a few hours can die. This kind of monster, gliding like lightning, the speed is very fast, there must be many masters to kill, let alone 10 heads. Fang Han's face is extremely ugly. He felt the danger and attacked his heart. Regarding the devil's flying night fork, he also saw it in the worlds. It focuses on describing its horror. The race in the abyss of the earth is first of all the devil, then the Yasha, and again the flying night fork. A flying night fork, you can command 10,000 to 20,000 magic people, the real is the demon general. With his ability, if you use the spirit sword, you may have a chance to kill a flying night fork, but at both ends, definitely a dead word. Hey, hey, hey. 10 heads of flying night forks fell to the red-haired prince behind the demon young man, and they all made a screaming scream, and then one of the hands of the black steel fork will give a vocal, "Okay, you woman, so many disciples are here today, it is really good. Let us get a lot of flesh and blood, especially the masters of the realm of change, you can transport the magic of the corpse, practice a strong gold corpse. You can also win a few pieces of spirit. This magic will shine in the moonlight, and the blue light flashes on the steel fork, which is obviously quenched. The magic will sweep the red eyes to the group of feathering disciples." When Fang Han touched his eyes, he seemed to feel that he had fallen into a blood pool, and his mouth and nose were bloody. The magic will fly the sky, the wisdom of the fork is extremely high, proficient in all kinds of language, not simple. Without thought, it will only kill and eat people's beasts. Your demon, and the demons, have always been vendettas, and the demons are the 7 elements of the magic, the best materials for practicing various incarnations. Now they are united, is there any agreement? The 10th place in the mountain river list is the original sword empty, cold and cold road. The 3 devils in the underground have signed an offensive and defensive agreement with our demon emperors. We are determined to clean the 10th of the fairy road, first from the Bohai Desert, and then our army will advance one by one, sweeping the guardianship of the world. Many dynasties, at the same time destroying your fairy tales and establishing our ideal country. The ideal country of the devils is the coexistence of people, demon, and devil, living together in the city, buying, selling, planting, operating, and not discriminating against each other. They are not stifling each other. They are not different from each other, but they are not allowed to be different. In ancient times, people, demons, gods, and devils coexisted, which is the golden age of ideals. It is your fairy tales, dividing beauty and ugliness, good and evil, letting me the demons kill each other and start the war. Now, all the vendettas will end. You will divide the beautiful and ugly, the good and the evil, and will eventually be destroyed. There will be no beauty and ugliness, no good and evil, between heaven and earth. The golden age of God, demon, and devil. The red powder whispered softly, like a woman, with a sweet voice, "So, your death is just a beginning." Under the earth, Fang Han heard the words of the red powder prince, and remembered that in the worlds, the magic is divided into 3 categories. The first category is the devil. That is, human beings, practicing magic, and practicing magic. For example, the congenital demon, of the devil's 7 veins, the long hate emperor, red dust demon, and so on. The second category is the devil. It is the abyss of the earth, the fierceness of survival is extremely evil, and there is a very intelligent life. The third category is the demon. The devil is the most mysterious, from the extraterrestrial starry sky, a variety of types, good at conquest, killing. Human cultivation of the magic road, to the longevity secret, can be called the emperor. The demon, cultivated to the longevity secret, can be called the demon emperor. The demon, cultivated into the longevity secret, can be called the demon god. The cultivation of the magical Tao is the demon of the extraterrestrial starry sky. In the ancient times, it came to the world and spread down. It is very different from the cultivation of immortal Tao. Most of them are taking flesh and blood, forcibly plundering, and martial arts are also more stimulating their own negative emotions, such as anger. Emotions such as hate, evil, cruelty, etc., stimulate the body's potential. And the nursery of the fairy, warm, cloud clear, and the spirit is very different. Between heaven and earth, the demon of the extraterrestrial sky is the most mysterious. the most common types of demons. However, the most powerful is the devil's magical 7 veins, the devils of the great emperor, all of them supernatural, the magic is boundless. The devil is the practice of human cultivation of the magic, martial arts, not the real devil. However, with extraordinary wisdom, they have become acquainted with the magical powers, and they have been improved to be more perfect and more suitable for human cultivation. Some of the demon emperors even combined the fairy tales and the magic roads to create a variety of peerless magical powers. Heaven, earth, people and 3 demons, each other also have attacks, such as the demon emperor, and some will travel outside the domain of the void, capture the demon, seal up, make a device. These things are mentioned in the worlds. Now the realm of Fanghan has gradually approached the 8th vitality of the flesh, with deep memory and some unforgettable skills. Flying Night Fork. Good things, we Yuhuaman also lack such powerful shackles, moving mountains to repair houses, mining for treasure. There are 10 heads here, we capture them one by one, and contribute to the sects to the elders to erase their original memories. Refining, I am afraid I can get the reward of 10 pieces of spirits. I also make great contributions. Ms. Moa Euro's sister suddenly showed a smile on her face. Euro, the original brother, you killed the Red Powder Prince, the inner disciples, the cloth swords. Kill the 10 Night Fork. The rest of the foreign disciples broke through and killed the sand. Euro. Between the words, Moshiji suddenly waved his hand. A long rope, full of gold, with a few purple gold bells on it, the snake flew out of her hand and tied to the top 10 Night Forks. At the same time, behind her, a blue flying sword rose to the sky and stifled. With her order, the other 4 inner disciples also each sacrificed their own flying sword, and together with her blue flying sword, formed a 5-pointed star map in the air. Hey, this 5-pointed star map has a shape, 5 flying swords, mutual influence, complementary to each other, the power is greatly increased, and the rotation is uncertain. It forms a sword shoulder with a bucket full of water, violently rotating and strangled, and the yellow sand on all sides is rolled. Ida Euro's getting dark. The original sword empty, is a cold, the green vestment on the body, flashing, forming a ball of light, floating his body volley, the silver snake sword, in his hand turned into a fierce silver snake the brilliance, entangled to the Red Powder Prince. Fighting fiercely, kicking off. Tianji to Yangsuo. 10 heads of flying night forks, will be hands-on, suddenly saw the long ropes flying out of the hands of Moshiji, the ropes exude a strong realgar taste, spread with the wind, when they smell their nose, feeling soft and numb, then the ropes were generally entwined with flying spirits and they even wrapped them all around. It turns out that this rope is a treasure, with the essence of Wani and Realgar, mixed with various genius treasures, 9,999 colorful ***** born at the time of the masculine temper, the coxcomb blood, in the calcination in the feathering furnaces made by the elders of the supernatural powers, and the mana is used to restrain the demons. Ordinary demons, as long as they are bundled, they are unconscious. Even if it is a flying night fork, it is ******* and it is difficult to struggle. It seems that taking a soft gluten, the power is reduced by a majority. Refining this rope, the hardships of Wani and Realgar, and even more rare are 9,999 colorful roosters. It is also a colorful rooster born at noon. At that time, an elder of Yuhuaman refining this treasure, he personally went down the mountain, to the Great Dynasty, the Dade Dynasty, the Rising Sun Dynasty, many small countries, a lot of money, let the high-level people collect, fully collected for 3 years. Only concentrated so many colorful roosters born at noon. Imagine that many of the dynasties controlled by the Yuhuaman had a population of 1 or 2 billion, and it was so difficult to collect the colorful roosters born at noon. How difficult is this treasure refining? This is a special restraint, the baby of the underground abyss. The rooster is originally an abnormal masculine, good at fighting, born in the afternoon, more pure yang. A little bit of blood in the crown on the head is pure yang and pure yang. Refining this rope, the blood of Wanyang multicolored roosters, the spirit of fierce souls, are all integrated into it. How can this treasure be your hands? The Red Powder Prince, the body emits red light, and also flew up in the air, and saw 10 flying night forks, tied by ropes, all violently fluttering, but the power was greatly reduced, and the flying swords rushed through the heart. N.A. Vel B in .c Om. Red Powder Prince, we want to kill you, why not calculate it? Moshiji sneered. Kill. At this moment, the sand shovel that was originally separated by the waves was not good. A smoky rushed up, the camels trampled, the army rolled, and crushed. Outside disciples, still not resisting. Ms. Moshi once again snorted. Several royal princes of the Dade dynasty, the princess at this time, rushed to kill, intercepting the sand. We also kill, this is a good opportunity to exercise and practice. Hanyi County. Good. Fang Hanbin looked at the fighting method and looked at the mood, but knew that this was not something he could participate in, so he swayed the magic sword, and the Hanyi County owner, Lu Kong, into the sand. Chapter 28. Life and Death. Chapter 28 Life and Death Fight. Fight. Fang Hanyijian stabbed into the sand scales of a sand shovel and stabbed a hole in his heart, and the knife of the sand shovel left a knife mark on his vestment. Kill. Scythe. Commandment. Dodge jump. Kill again. Fang Han rushed into the sand, the body is like a monkey, the fencing is like a meteor, the breath is fierce, the momentum is getting stronger and stronger, and the actual combat experience of fighting is becoming more and more abundant. This is a real combat, not a test, and the sword of the Red Yi County is very different. Thousands of sands, chaos, and a little hesitation, immediately died on the spot, without a trace of luck. What is the most arduous battle for human will? Of course, it is the fight on the battlefield. In the face of thousands of horses, the swords and jungles are fearless. The sand shoal in the desert is a fierce army. One person and one sword, facing the fierce army and killing, fighting alone, is indeed a test of courage, wisdom, strength, and luck. Fang Han, this is the first time to kill, killing a living person, and some people still don't get used to it. But when Satya's machete crossed his neck and almost cut off his half face, his discomfort completely disappeared. The rest is the sword, the assassination of the key, dodge, with a fierce sword, take life. The life of a strip disappears under his own sword. When each sand scorpion is stabbed to death by himself, the spirit of Fang Han is more sensitive and feels the breath of the dead soul. I seem to have become a ***** of death, constantly harvesting my life. At the time of the beating of the disciples of the feathers, there were at least 2,000 people, all of whom were fierce, killing people like gnomes, scimitars, cutting gold and jade, and some of them were more masters. When this rush is over, ****s just the momentum, you can horrify people. What is the most feared martial arts master? The most fear is that the army will be killed, and among the thousands of troops, it is difficult to display any martial arts. There are no eyes in the chaos. Although Fang Han has a long physical strength, he is much more arrogant than the master of the general brave realm, but he also encounters danger. If it is not the devil sword on the hand, the mana with the sharp force will touch. When the scimitar is cut, it will be broken. If it is not the vestment on the body, the knife and the gun will not enter. He has been hacked more than 10 times. This is the case, his hands, neck, and knife marks everywhere. Fortunately, his body refining the 9 golden dragons, the resilience is extremely powerful, without the need to stop the blood, you can immediately condense. Instead, he was next to the Red Yi County owner and Lu Kong. The light of the hemostasis of the blood flashed and he repaired some minor wounds. Hemostasis of blood stasis is made from many elixir refining. Inside, the mana is applied. When the mind is running, the force inside will be turned into steam, applied to the skin, and the muscles will stop bleeding, repel the poisonous gas and restore physical strength. Fang Han, be careful. Hey, just a little distracted in Fang Han, suddenly a scimitar, the crescent moon generally appears in the eyelids, such as ghosts suddenly climbed out of the gloom, such as the moonlight, landing from the sky, unstoppable. O-N-O-Vel-B in .C Ohm. Fang Han felt the hair on his neck, and all of them were erected. The eyes were watching, and the smear of the knife smashed to his neck, but the fingers could not respond. On the occasion of this millennium, the owner of Hanyi County suddenly broke out of the sword, smeared through the clouds, and hit the knife, only to save the crisis of Fang Han. Who is it, such a high martial arts? Especially on the scimitar, it seems to have a demon spirit, this is the ultimate in the realm of change in the realm of the gods. Wugong practiced the realm of divine change, and further, reaching the peak, martial arts brought spiritual strength, and punching out, can create all kinds of illusions and affect the spirit of the enemy. This is already about to enter the magical mystery. The tides of the sand dunes generally spread out, leaving the dead bodies. Boom, 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 boom. I don't know who beat the drums. A sand dressed in white appeared in the eyes of Fang Han. Today, I am going to kill my own sand shovel. I wear black and yellow clothes, and the color of sand is the only one. The veils, dressed in white, have no smudges and are very clean. The feathered disciple is really different. You are back, I am coming. The hoarse and magnetic sound, said from the mouth of this white sand shovel, Fang Han discovered that this white sable is also very young, is a young man, but his face is covered by veil, cannot see the true face. The most striking thing is that the machete in his hand, like Mercury, is long and big, and it is 6 feet long. It can easily cut a horse into 2 halves. The wicked prince, he is the leader of the sand scorpion, the son of the desert. He took him and gave it to the elders of the Feathering Gate. We can not only get the quota of the inner disciples, but also get the reward of the spirit. He is most likely to step into the magical powers. The master of the mystery. In his early years, he ate a 6-winged blood bat in the desert. The body is much stronger than the general master of the real world. We appointed the people on the martial art mission of the Feather Gate. At this moment, a whirlwind was killed, but it was the king of princes, of the Dade royal family, and there were 2 men and 2 women, all of whom were foreign disciples. Want to take me? Look at the knife. Suddenly, the wicked prince suddenly stepped out, and even grabbed 30 or 40 steps. As a full-scale leap, the evil moon scimitar in his hand was killed again. Fang Han looked at the evil moon machete, knife light, feeling that all his spirits seemed to be sucked by the knife light, and the hands and feet could not move. Fortunately, he had just had experience, and immediately sent Yuanshan's spiritual skills. Suddenly a clear mind, the sword in his hand jumped up, a move, 7 stars chain, to resist the knife light. Dang dang, dang dang. Fang Han blocked the knife light and counterattacked again, only to find that there was no one in front of him. The pace of the evil moon prince seemed to be moving in a blink of an eye, and there was only a shadow left. In the meantime, the scimitar killed 7 or 8 people. This group of foreign disciples of Yuhuaman, everyone has smashed him a knife. Dang dang, dang dang. Another cold flower in front of Fang Hana Euro's eyes, with a scimitar of evil spirits, was killed again, and Sensena Euro's killing was overwhelming. Everything around can't be seen, and the spirit is once again sucked away by the scimitar. Fang Han fought up and fought, Zhangguang fluttered, and even blocked dozens of knives. Suddenly, the pressure in front of him was loose. I saw that the sand satay had been retired. The prince of the evil moon had already taken a few steps. Outside, several ups and downs have left far and disappeared into the desert. At the scene, only a few hundred white dragon camels were left, and there was a dead body. It turned out that the leader of the satay, the prince of the evil moon, had 1 knife and 1 knife, and at the same time restrained several people, letting his men calmly retreat. The martial arts are high strength, strong in physical strength, fast in speed, and incredible. Fang Han has not seen it, just by martial arts, such a powerful person. Follow not chase. Forget it, the poor are not chasing, and we have no spirits, we can't defeat the evil moon prince. His martial arts are high and strong without a margin. If we ambush us, we will be killed by him. We look at Mo Shiji to drop the demon. Several of the princes of the Dade royal family discussed that one of the princesses denied the pursuit of the pursuit. It is also very cautious. Mu Shiji's success in demonizing this demon, the credit is simply unimaginable. Prince Bao looked coldly at Fang Han, and seemed to be very dissatisfied with Fang Han who did not die in the sand. However, he later turned his attention to the fighting on the sky. Ms. Moshi now and several inner disciples, fully urging the 5-sword flying sword, and the silver sword of the former sword, surrounded the red powder prince. And the 10 flying night forks, they flew into the air, all ****** by Tianji to Yangsuo, roaring and struggling, flying is not far away, the other end of Tianji to Yangsuo, cold in the master of Mo hands. The current situation is that Mo Shiji seems to fly a kite, put 10 flying night forks, just wait for the killing of the red powder prince, you can collect these nightshades. These nightshades, although worn by the flying swords, only weakened the fierceness and did not die. This treasure is not the same. If you come to bundle me, I don't know if the crouching Wangquan soil can be collected. Baby, it is a baby, 1 shot, 10 flying night forks are tied. Without this treasure, now I am afraid that these people are very devastated. But this Mo Shiji actually has treasures. It is really unexpected to everyone. Who is she? Who's borrowed? Fang Han looked at it all, and his mind kept guessing. The red powder prince, now suspended in the air, a pink flying sword, keeps on shuttle, resists all the Zhangguang, and his body clothes, bursts of pink light, keep pushing, prop up a ball of light, strive to protect. Some Zhangjian's Zhangguang, cut above the ball of light, blew up a pink peach. They have not cultivated into the mysterious secrets of the gods. If Mo Shiji wins this time, she does not have to go to the Blue Moon country. She will return directly to the Feathering Gate and hand over the Pink Prince to the elders of the sect. With this credit, a Yin and Yang Wansho Dan will be available. Lu Kang looked at the scene and whispered, Pink Prince, not so good to kill. Although Mo Shiji is superior, borrowed treasures. But I don't know if this Pink Prince has a way to escape. Even if the Pink Prince is killed, this credit can't fall for us. On the head, we can get up to an inner disciple to assess the quota. The Red Yi County leader is concentrating on the fighting. Fang Han is very keen to fly his flying sword, but now it can't be exposed, otherwise it will be his turn to wait for Mo Shiji to clean up these devils. My strength is still very shallow, I have to work hard to cultivate, but then again, this fight, especially with the evil Moon Prince, has benefited a lot, and my spirit has been honed. Fang Han feels that this life and death fight, actual practice, is more fulfilling than the one that has been closed for a few months. The Red Powder Prince began to fight back. Victory is here. The owner of Hongyi County suddenly said. Sure enough, the Pink Prince wrapped in the sword light suddenly snarled, and a pink ball of light was added to his hand. The ball was hit by his hand and hit the Jiangguang, suddenly exploding. 6 Desires to Thunder. Chapter 29, 1000. Chapter 29 is 1000. A magical disciple fights the magic weapon, which is extremely fierce, but it is wonderful. However, if the winners and losers are divided, then one party will immediately die, and the danger will be extremely extreme, between life and death. Whether it is the Red Dust Mozong, of the 7 devils of the Mozong, or the Feathering Gate, of the 10th gate of the Taoist temple, it is a super large school of the heavens and the earth. The number of disciples possessed by the 2 disciples is not in the minority. It is definitely not the kind of small pie. A spiritual support scene. Mu Shiji, sacrificed the killer A, Tianji to Yangsuo, is preparing to kill the Red Powder Prince, set a bad credit. But did not expect that the Red Powder Prince actually has a killer. 6 Desires to Thunder. 6 desires are not a musical instrument, nor a spiritual device, not a treasure, but a one-time sinister poison. It is a famous elder of the Red Dust Emperor, who is superbly superficial, refining the sinister. Every sinister must use the grievances of thousands of people to absorb poisons in the most hazy places on the ground, nourish for decades, and then integrate into the sky, yin and yang thunder, reconcile with each other, and pour into pills. A sinister thundered, immediately exploded, blasting thousands of red smoke, thousands of magic shadows, making any human spirits lose their effect, smudging the mana inside, cutting off the spirit of blood inside, making people unable to command the spirit. That is to say, if a sword is hit by a sinister, it will immediately fall to the ground. Command again. Unless you go back, use snow lotus, ginseng, and so on with a masculine potion for a few hours before you can wash away the filth, yin, and re-drip blood. Especially people, as long as they absorb a little bit, they will faint immediately, and people will not be saved. Even if the body is strong, it is useless. Because it has poisonous gas, there are thousands of poisonous souls, dirty, people, spirit. Unless it is a strong man who stepped into the mysterious secrets, he can use force to stop the poison gas and not spread. This kind of sinister thunder, because each one has to kill thousands of talents to be able to sacrifice, so it is extremely precious, even if the true sects of the sects are not there, only the magical boundless elders will be sacrificed and used by themselves. Nor will it be rewarded to disciples. Unexpectedly, the Prince of Red Powder can actually have won, and it will blow up the life at a critical time. Boom! 6 people screamed and thundered, and all the people were shocked. Lu Kang and Hong Yijuna Euro's face all showed a desperate look. Fang Han saw the red light diverging, and the pink light showed hundreds of thousands of faces, as if the door of ***** was opened, and thousands of resentments were released. These embarrassing faces are the poisonous souls among the 6 desires and sorrows. Section A per mil, A, section. These poisonous souls entangled a few mouthfuls of flying swords, and they penetrated into the blade, and then the flying swords fell. Dang, fell on the sand, and rang for dozens of miles. In the secular world, a flying sword that cannot be exchanged for a 100,000-person city pool is now like a scrap iron, falling down bit by bit. $1 is not worth it. Even the master of the John List 10th original sword empty, his silver snake sword, also entangled in many poisonous souls, like drunk, flying up and down, and finally lost the aura, fell to the ground. The prototype is presented, but it seems to be a silver long snake. It is curved and curved. The sword is sharp and full of spirituality. Although it falls on the desert, it still keeps squirming. Unlike other flying swords, it seems like a dead object. Subsequently, thousands of poisonous souls wandered over, first to the Moshiji and others. What? Several screams, Moshiji and several other inner disciples were all thrown up by the poisonous soul, and immediately screamed, as if they were in a nightmare, terrible. Subsequently, these inner door disciples fell down. However, the Tianji to Yangsuo, in the hands of Moshiji sent out a glimmer of light to refine the poisonous souls. This rope treasure is a magic weapon just to the sun, but it is able to withstand the poisonous soul, but it is a rope after all, it is not a protective instrument, it cannot be taken care of in all directions. Moshiji is not paying attention, is another one. The mixture drifted from behind and rushed to the body. She whispered, her body was crumbling, and she sat down on the sand. At the same time, there are two other princes and princesses of the King of Princes of the Dade dynasty. Being poisoned by the poisonous soul, falling to the ground as unconscious. They are all foreign disciples, and there is no one in the spirit. How can they resist the poisonous soul that broke out in the 6 desires and thunder? At this time, Fang Han also felt a bright red face, rushing toward himself, entangled himself, to enter his own brain. The tip of the needle is generally stinging. A trademark, €S, a trademark, €S. Lu Kong, the owner of Hongyi County next to him, has fallen down and is also attacked by poisonous souls. At this moment, when Fang Han felt that these poisonous souls had to invade their own bodies, the Yunfu Wangquan map was launched again. Fang Han immediately gave up a spirit, and saw the poisonous soul that invaded his body. All of them fell into the Wangquan River and were banned. And my body is safe and sound. However, when he saw Ms. Moshiji and several internal disciples who fell down, the heart moved and fell. I don't know how the Hongyi County owner, she just saved me from the evil Moon Prince knife. Come back, I can't help her. If I can use Huang Quan too, it's a pity that this is Huang Quan. I can only passively protect it. I don't know how to use it. Yes, I have eaten Julong Jindan, and it contains blood. Jui Jindan's potency, I don't know if I can detoxify. Dead horse is a live horse doctor. At the moment when Fang Han fell down, he pressed onto the main body of Hongyi County. At the same time, he stroked a wound on his wrist and let the blood of the wound get together in the mouth of the Red Yi County, and drip it in. He is also anxious and wise. Jui Jindan is the remedy for the refining of the Emperor of the Great Gate. He does not want to say that he has the ability to restrain the poisonous soul and protect the life of the owner of Hongyi County. Because the owner of Hongyi County had saved him, his grievances were clear, and he must report back. At the moment, all the disciples have been poisoned by the explosion of 6 desires and thunder. There is only one person who is still supporting the dead, that is, the original sword empty. He wore a ceremonial vestment, green color, called Golden Burrow. It is a combination of wani and pine needle essence, with a green and clear air, can fly in the air, more able to resist the poisonous soul. Many pink poisonous souls wrap around the blue light, but they are all resisted by the blue light, and then refining and disappearing. Silver Snake Sword, original sword empty, squatting with the effect of this sword, Golden Burrow, screaming, his face showed a reluctance, a fierce bite of the teeth, the clothes on the body emit a brighter light, wrapped up and down the water is impassable, especially the radiance of a green pine needle, shot out, and pierced the poisonous souls, and he rushed forward, to pick up the Silver Snake Sword, and then run. Although he is the 10th master of the Shan list, he is unfathomable in his cultivation, but after all, he has not stepped into the mysterious secrets. All the Silver Snake Swords account for most of this strength. If you lose the Silver Snake Sword, I am afraid that the next time the Shan list is re-ranked, his 10th place will not be available. Hey, I want your Silver Snake Sword. The red powder prince descended from the sky, and the pink flying sword on his hand rose, but did not kill, but shuttled to the ground, took a silver snake sword, hovered and danced, and fell to his own hands. The original sword heir did not grab the silver snake sword, but also let it fall into the hands of the pink prince, suddenly issued a roar of beast injury, but he took the initiative to slam, the body glides outward, flies to the edge of the desert, turned out to be ran away. At this moment, the group of cranes in the sky also fled without a shadow, and it is likely to fly back to Yuhuashan. The cranes are all raised, only providing the strength of the feet, of course, will not fight the devil with the disciples. Hey, waste, cough and cough. The red powder prince fell to the ground and coughed up. Then Fang Han quietly saw his body. There were several sword wounds, obviously wounded by the sword array. The clothes on his body are also a kind of spirit, but they are killed by so many flying swords. Sometimes they break the mana of the clothes and wear them to hurt him. Little beauty, you have already gone. Do you want to bear the refusal? But fortunately, this day chicken is not yours, you can only play a little bit of effect. Otherwise, the 6 desires are not allowed. The Red Powder Prince approached, Mu Shiji, step by step, and now the disciples of Yu Huaman have fallen down, and the original Zhengkong has escaped, leaving only Mu Shiji, because of the hand holding the chicken to the Yangsuo, relying on the above mana, guarding living in the spirit of the heart, not invaded by poisonous souls, but her body has not been able to move, seeing the Red Powder Prince step by step, unable to do anything. No vel b in .c om. Red Powder Prince, you dare. Mo Shiji suddenly shouted. Ha 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 ha, what do I dare not? Red Powder Prince looked at the sky. Tianji to Yangsuo, still tied the top 10 flying night forks. The 10 flying night forks are now abnormally wilt, gradually fluttering and not moving. It fell on the sand in the distance. I took you away, waited for the injury, and enjoyed it. Prince Red Powder approached Mo Shiji. Suddenly, with a wave of his hand, Mo Shiji was suddenly cold and exhausted. Puff. A spit in the mouth hit the eyes of the Red Powder Prince. Water and fire beads. You still have this thing? But this is just a musical instrument, even the spirits are not counted. Red Powder Prince once again emerged red light, resisting this bead. Burst. Mo Shiji used all her strength and spit out a word, hee. This water fireball exploded, tearing the red light on the Red Powder Prince's vestment, and the earthquake flew a few feet away. Okay, well, this means has passed, what other means do you have? As he turned over, he climbed up from the sand, and the Red Powder Prince hangs a trace of blood at his mouth, faltering and rushing again. At this time, Mo Shiji had no strength, her eyes were blurred, and the Red Powder Prince seemed to have become a lot of shadows. She had to close her eyes and wait to die. It's time. Suddenly, Fang Han seems to leap up like a leopard, and the handle is raised. The spiritual sword flies away and kills the neck of the Red Powder Prince. The Red Powder Prince was seriously injured, and the vestment had just been shaken by the water and fireballs. He himself did not have any precautions. It is a rare opportunity to assassinate him at this time, a good opportunity that has not been seen for thousands of years. Once the Red Powder Prince was killed, the sword was flying in the 5 spirits, plus the silver snake sword, plus the sword on the hand of the Red Powder Prince. The body of the vestment. That is a rich day. Chapter 30. Dagger Success. Chapter 30. The Success of the Dagger. Fang Hana Euro's leaping and flying swords killing are all the spirit of his own. All his spirits have entered the spirit of the wind, awkward, tearing the air, such as the thunder and lightning, the flames of the sky, the meteor chasing the moon, the meteorite landing. Even he felt his whole person became part of the spirit, with the sword body killing the past. There is a taste of sword and humanity. Just blink of an eye. The spirit sword forced to the neck of the Red Powder Prince, it seems to be drawn to the past, killing his great head directly. Fang Han also seems to feel the next moment, the spirit of the sword will be contaminated with the blood of the master of the magic door. But the situation is abrupt. On the body of Red Powder Prince, a wave of red light bursts again. The Jiangguang of the Lingfeng sword was killed on the top, as if it was killed on the sponge, slowed down, and was trapped in a quagmire. There is actually a poisonous soul of 6 desires and sorrows is still not dead. You must have incredible magic weapon. A feather disciple, ordinary disciple, how can there be a magic weapon against the poisonous soul? The Red Powder Prince turned sharply. Eyes staring at Fang Han, flashing out the faint magic light, suddenly felt cold and felt dizzy, the body was sore. It seems that the soul is going to be taken away by these eyes. The devil's eye. At this critical juncture, I bite my tongue. Suddenly restored the Kingming. This is the martyrdom of the Red Dust Emperor. It needs to be cultivated into the realm of divine change. The spirit is extremely powerful. It can affect the spirit of the enemy and cause all kinds of illusions. Although it is not the essence, it can bring the enemy into the abyss of despair. Fortunately, Fang Han saw this introduction of magical power in worlds. Without entering the mysterious secrets, the spirit can only create illusions and cannot affect the essence. When you reach the magical mystery, the powerful spirit is transformed into mana, and you can fully realize the power of thousands of times. Of course, the Red Powder Prince did not step into the mysterious mystery, otherwise the group would have been completely destroyed. Red Sword. Hey, seeing that his dement of the devil did not succeed, the Prince of Red Powder did not stop, and with a wave of his hand, his own pink long sword flew out and killed the head of Fang Han. There is no squatting yellow spring on the skull. If you break it, you will not save it. Although I know that Huang Quantu on my body can collect Phagian, the last time the spirit sword was killed, it fell on himself, and directly rushed into the map of Wangquan, collecting the poisonous soul just now, but also the poisonous soul directly rushed to the body. Fang Han cannot guarantee that when Phagian smashes his head, Huang Quan will take away Phagian. This risk is never to be taken. Huang Quantu is a passive magic weapon, not an active one. And he can't control it. You can only take out the magic weapon. Immediately, the mind, Feng Feng's sword, flew back, intercepting the red sword, two sword-level flying swords, flying in the sky, strangled, Mars splashed, swords and spirits. The vestments on this Red Powder Prince are too powerful. At this time, I can resist my flying sword. Could it be that I have to lose? Fang Han desperately resisted the red sword, and concentrated on it, unable to distinguish a spirit. He is now a spirit sword, and his thoughts move, Phagian and his mental induction, the spirit of the inside is spurred, and the four sides of the assassination fly. If the spirit is scattered, this flying sword has no one to control, and the flight path is chaotic, it will be assassinated by the red sword, which is extremely dangerous. The Red Powder Prince seems to know that he has a powerful magic weapon on his body. The trajectory of Phagian Yu is very savvy, specifically killing his head. It seems that you can't use a mysterious magic weapon on your body, just like the chicken to the sun. Is it a treasure? My luck is so good, actually 2 pieces of treasure. The Red Powder Prince has stepped in and out, and the flying sword is more aggressive. Step by step, his footsteps seem to be reminders. After more than 10 steps, I was forced to go to Fang Han Sanjiang. The flying sword swayed several times to open the spirit sword. The situation is extremely dangerous. Kill. Suddenly, a red shadow picked up from the ground, the sword was fierce, and a sword stabbed, pointing to the throat of the Red Powder Prince. It is the Hongyi County Lord. She didn't know when she woke up, and the assassination was just right, showing the deep foundation of her gold medal killer. The sword pointed directly at the throat, and the Red Powder Prince was taken aback. The red light of the body fluctuated again, and it circled out in a circle. The sword of the red-eyed county was suddenly caught in the shackles, and the thorns could not be penetrated. Good chance. At this time, Fang Han was ecstatic. He knew that the opportunity finally arrived. N-O-V-E in .C Ohm. The slaying track of Red Sword was slowed down because of the distraction of the Red Powder Prince. It was moved by the Fang Han soul, and the Ling Feng sword slammed into the sand. Then Fang Han concentrated all his spirits and went to the sword. Also squatting on the red body of the Red Powder Prince. Hey, Red Powder Prince's body red light, split again. You are looking for death. You think that this can kill me? Prince Red Powder once again arrogant, concentrated all the spirits, and went to the wearing of the ceremonial vestment. Suddenly, the red light of this vestment once again condensed. Broken. Fang Han was already dying at this time. Suddenly the spirit moved, and a black smoke emerged from the body to form a horrible face. When this horrible black face came out, it seemed that the devil came out. But Fang Han followed by a blood, and the sputum was sprayed on the smoky face. Oh, this group of black smoke magic face, suddenly had a spirituality, opened the blood basin, and smashed the red light of the Prince of Red Powder. Oh, I actually took a big bite. Serious 7 cigarettes. How is it possible? How is it possible? Isn't that in the hands of Wang Molan? How come you? The red light is completely broken. The black smoke face, biting the head of the Red Powder Prince, then the Red Powder Prince face dark, squatting down on the ground, twitching, and then no breath. Receive. Fang Hanshina Euro's thoughts moved again. This black smoked face flew into his body and entered the Wangquan River, which was crouched in Wangquan. Originally, as long as it is a magic weapon, entering the Wangquan map, it is necessary to be washed away from the original will, but after the chilling blood smelting, it seems that the blood contains the effect of Ju Jin Jin Dan, and has a close relationship with Huang Quantu. There is nothing in the magic weapon of his own. This serious 7 cigarettes, the last time he and the Emperor encountered the enemy charged, and now at the crisis, the next sacrifice, immediately received an unexpected effect. Killed the Red Powder Prince. The Red Powder Prince is dead. The Red Yi County owner looked at the scene in front of him and couldn't believe his eyes. Hurry up and clean the battlefield. We are developed, Fang Han immediately said. Chapter 31. Make a fortune. Chapter 31. Making a fortune. I don't think that Zhu Jin Jin Dan actually has the effect of expelling the evil spirits. The Red Yi County owner ate my blood and woke up. It is worthy of Huang Quan's refining. People, can you save or not? Fang Han went to pick up the flying sword on the ground, thinking in his heart. In the worlds, some of the functions of Zhu Jin Jin Dan are also recorded. It is said that it is the supreme medicine of Wangmanzong refining. After taking it, it not only strengthens the body, but also resists the magical infringement of many magic gates. Huang Quanzonga Euro S Jui Jindan and Yuhuamena Euro S Yin Yang Wanshodan are juxtaposed. An earth-shattering tragic fight, from the face of Fang Han, a Sirius 7 smog, turned into a red powder prince, and ended. Sirius 7 smoke is a treasure, powerful. Although Fang Han only took one photo, it was still more than enough to deal with the spiritual clothes on the red powder prince. Especially when the red powder prince suffered a heavy blow and could not react. A fatal blow. One move succeeded. Looking at the 7 flying swords scattered on the ground, Fang Han knows the value of these 7 flying swords, and can be exchanged for 7 cities. The so-called value for money is like this. This is not a value for city, in the sense, but a value for money that is truly true. Seeing the flying sword that fell on the ground 7, Hongyi County Lord, is also very heartwarming. A red-haired princess, red sword, a silver snake sword left by the original sword, and a true blue sword, by Mo Shiji, and 4 other flying swords of 4 inner disciples. Originally there were 5 inner disciples, but another disciple with a left door surname, his spirit sword was taken away by Fang Han, resulting in no flying sword. Good sword. Fang Han picked up the silver snake sword for the first time, because he saw it. The silver snake sword has the best quality, the most spiritual, and the most powerful mana inside. After entering the door of Yuha for so long, and studying the worlds, with the improvement of his own cultivation and the broadening of his vision, he was able to distinguish some magic weapons, and Feijian came. Silver snake sword, the color of sterling silver, there is no trace, the blade is twisted, like a silver snake. In my hand, I still keep squirming. This silver snake sword is a coincidence of the original sword. When collecting medicine in the mountains, in a remote and inaccessible valley of the Jedi, I saw the feathered crane and a silver snake fighting. This silver snake was killed. More than 100 linged cranes, finally exhausted, captured by him, contributed to the martial art. The elders of the martial art integrated the hardware gas, and practiced this spirit. Unfortunately, the elders of the sect at the time sighed, saying that this silver snake is still poor. When you are a little ignited, you will be able to swallow the clouds and make a wind, and you will reach the magical mystery. If you capture it at that time, you can become a treasurer when you make a flying sword. Hongyi County Lord looked at the silver snake kendo. What, killing more than 100 ling? Fang Hanyi. The crane of the feathering gate is not a general crane, but a heterogeneous species. It is huge in size, and the gods are extremely divided. When they fall, even the leopards, giant bears, rhinoceros, and tigers can be caught. A silver snake actually killed more than 100 linged cranes, showing how powerful it is. This silver snake sword is quite prestigious among the martial art. Even if you get it, I am afraid it will be taken back. There is nothing. The money is not revealed. This silver snake sword is not the same as a small one. Since it is finished, there is no reason to go back. It is not revealed before the people. Come, you choose a few flying swords. Fang Han took 7. The flying swords were all picked up and collected together. Then I will be the real blue sword of Mo Shiji. This kind of spirit is not the same as the material. The red-eyed county owner took the blue and white flying sword left by Mo Shiji and played it. Unfortunately, these flying swords can't be used for the time being. We must first use the pure yang syrup to get rid of the poisonous soul inside, and then ask the master of the mysterious secrets to erase the spirit of the original owner's blood. Yes, Fang Han, you the spirit of the sword collected, how to erase the spirit of the blood inside, is it Fang Qingxie shot? Almost the same. Fang Han naturally can't say that he has the secret of the crouching of Wangquan. Although the Red Lord had rescued him, he also saved the county owner, but the treasure of Huang Quan's emperor was too earth-shattering. As soon as I passed it out, I was afraid that the 2 demons would vibrate and immediately blew the wind and rain. Fang Han, I really thank you for detoxifying me. In the poisonous soul of the 6 desires of yin and lei, if you don't detoxify in time, the consequences will be unimaginable. The red Yixian master thought about it and handed the true blue sword to Fang Han. You for me, ask for a teacher, let her practice this true blue sword for me. For a while, I can't find the master of the magical mystery. Especially this thing is not good, and there is also a strong true disciple behind the sister. Quote. No problem. Fang Han collected red sword, silver snake sword, true blue sword, and 4 other flying swords. They were bundled in the sword sack and then hand-picked. The dress on the red powder prince was peeled off. The clothes on the red powder prince are a brocade with a pink color. I don't know what sewing thread is used to sew a rune. This dress is called a blood cotton magic coat, and it is no different. The main road of Hongyi County. Blood cotton magic clothing, blood cotton magic clothing. Fang Hanyan said. This red powder prince is more valuable to the whole person, if we hand over his body to the sect of the sect, one Yin Yang Wan Shodan. Yeah, Yin Yang Wan Shodan. Hongyi County chewed 2 times in the mouth, seems to be imagining the taste of this legendary medicinal medicine, but we handed the body of the red powder prince to the sect of the sect. I am afraid that it is not appropriate, that yin and yang longevity did not get, the thing that swallowed the flying sword was first exposed. Ida Euro-S not worth it. Ida Euro-S better that we first collect the body of the red powder prince. You and Fanga Euro-S sister discuss it and let she came out, this is appropriate. Yes, the body of the red powder prince can only be dealt with by Fang Shiji. Yin Yang Wan Shodan, how many people in the martial arts dare, how can we swallow it? Fang Han is gradually coming up with strength, and the tone of the name changes. The name Fang Qingshe changed from Missy to the sister. However, although he nodded on the surface, his heart secretly complained. He was able to collect Feijian, which was completely the role of Huang Quantu, and there was no relationship with Fang Qingshe. If this thing is known to Fang Qingshe, I am afraid that the first one is to kill him. How to deal with this matter is still a very difficult problem. Right, there is a treasure, what do we do? Eat and not eat. Suddenly, the main lord of Hongyi County said. The chicken to the sun on the day, is still a treasure, tied with 10 big fly knife fork. A euro. Fang Hana Euro-S eyes also looked at a euro Etionji to Yangsuo a euro. 10 flying knife forks, already lying in the sand, are still ***** by this treasure. No vel b in .c ohm. Chapter 32, Heart. Chapter 32, The Heart. 10 extremely fierce flying knife forks, originally fierce, arrogant, now tied by the ropes, and by the flying swords through the heart, fell in the sand, black blood flowing to the ground, is already in a coma. However, they all have a very strong atmosphere, showing strong vitality. This treasure, we may not be able to swallow. Fang Han first time. Treasures, even for the door of the fairy door, the door of the door, is a rare thing. The loss of a treasure, the elders of the sect will definitely check the end, to the ability to feather the door, there is nothing in the world that cannot be found. Tianji to Yangsuo is the first elder of the sect of the sect of the sect of the sect of the sect. It was later given to the first true disciple of Tiandufeng, Huaishandu. This Huaishan is the most promising, stepping the true disciple who entered the longevity secrets, known as the first true biography of Yuhuaman. The head of many true disciples. Mo Shiji must be a treasurer borrowed from him. Tiandufeng, among the many peaks of Yuhuaman, has a very high status. The purple electric peak, ranking the end. But Hongyi County nodded and seemed to agree with Fang Hana Euro-S words, but at the end of the day, she suddenly turned around. But what? Fang Han heard the sound of the strings. But the teacher is also not the same as Xiaokei, she and the magical son of the emperor's son, the devil, should exchange the cultivation skills with each other. The magical magic is one, the magical power is 1,000 miles, the progress is extremely fast, and the future is infinite. If we first take the chicken to the sun, give her, she will definitely have a deal. The eyes of Hongyi County look to the sky and seem to be trying to think about the relationship between people and things. The relationship among the feather gates is complicated, and it is much more powerful than the imperial court. After all, the gates of the immortals are mastered. And, we don't charge this treasure now, we can't let it go. Don't let it be here. Or detoxify Mo Shiji, give Mo Shiji detoxification, she asks us how to solve the poison. Then ask Fly where did the sword go? How did the red powder prince die? What should I do? A series of questions, asking Fang Han really feel that things are tricky again. That Lu Kang can't save him. After saving him, it is also very tricky. Fang Han frowned. Let the Hongyi County Lord pay attention. Forget it, Lu Kang has his own plans. He is pulling you. He wants to add more chips to him. He can't believe it easily. It's not like us, they have saved each other's lives. Let him know that we have collected so many flying swords and we have to collect the days. Chicken to Yangsuo, must be spread out. More importantly, the original sword escaped, he will certainly send out a call for help, spread to true disciples. The Hongyi County Lord looked at Lu Kang, who was lying on the ground. Hesitated for a while and shook his head. That's not good. After all, the three of us are the offensive and defensive alliances for the time being. We can save them if we can save them. Fang Han thought about it and went to Lu Kang to drop a drop of his blood into his mouth, then use real water. The symbol was rushed and sent to his abdomen. In a short while, Lu Kang's belly creaked, and a poisonous gas was emitted from the whole body. It was blown away by the wind and climbed up. Fang Han, Hong Yi, you have 6 desires, you can still wake up. Fang Han, your blood can actually rescue the poison of the 6 desires in Yin, what spirit have you taken? Is it Yin and Yang Wan Shodan? When Lu Kang got up, he already saw it all. When he saw that Mo Shiji and others were in a coma, the crisis was in a hurry and they immediately knew what it was. In particular, he saw the body of the Red Powder Prince, but he was surprised and fainted, and was deeply buried in his heart. First of all, this is the case now. The Red Powder Prince and Mo Shiji have both lost their lives. I rely on a magic weapon to kill the Red Powder Prince, and I have won 2 treasures on him, as well as the silver snake sword of the original sword Empty Brother. The true blue sword of the sister-in-law, and several other flying swords, fell into my hands, because these flying swords lost their spiritual effects. N-O-V-E in .C Om. Fang Han explained the previous incident, and asked Lu Kang what he had taken before, and he opened it. Lu Kang is also a deep-hearted person, cannot reveal the bottom. Is that the case? 7 flying swords, it is amazing. Especially the blood cotton magic clothes, more rare. Lu Kang shocked. Fang Han, can you give me the silver snake sword and the blood cotton magic coat? You have a spirit sword on your body, and there is a treasure that Fang Shiji can give you to collect Phagian. It is not lacking. Phagian magic weapon, this thing cannot be too much distraction is not easy to use, it is difficult to control. Thinking about it, Lu Kang suddenly said, okay. Fang Hanyi listened, Lu Kang actually wants to, blood cotton magic clothes, and the best silver snake sword. Cannot help but feel very uncomfortable. Lu Kang, too abruptly. These things, we have to turn over to the martial art. In case the sects found out. Hongyi County suddenly said. Counter, do you want to hand over these flying swords to the sect? Lu Kang smiled and said, I gave it to the sect, and it didn't fall into our hands. So many inner disciples, true disciples, just finished. It is. This Fang Han can actually pick this big cheap. 7 flying swords, a vestment. This time I don't a ask for it, am afraid I'd s late. At this time, it is a golden opportunity, and it is very polite. Fortunately, Fang Han has a handle now, and I propose to share it, just to get the best benefit. Otherwise, even if I enter the inner door, I can't get the martial art reward. A flying sword came down. Now I got the Phagian Baoyi, and I will stand out among the disciples in the future. It seems that I can see that people are right. At that time, I was able to draw Fang Han. While talking, Lu Kang thought about it. 7 flying swords, 1 vest is not the same. Lu Kang knows that he is now a bit abrupt, but he must not miss this opportunity. The opportunity is rare, you have to fight for the best interests for yourself. This opportunity may not be encountered in a lifetime. Don't fight for it, speak Sven, the opportunity has passed, and regrets are too late. Although he is the nephew of Junyuan Hu, it is only an authority in the secular. It is impossible to get a spiritual instrument, let alone a silver snake sword, a blood cotton magic suit such a spirit. Lu brother, you don't seem to be helping. Fang Han was silent and suddenly said. Lu Kang has always been wooing himself. He really did not help anything. Unlike the Hongyi County Lord who accompanied his sword, he saved his life under the evil moon scimitar. I don't say it, it's the biggest help. Lu Kangwei smiled. Fight. Just as he spoke, a sword suddenly rushed over and directly cut it over his neck. Lu Kang slammed it like a chicken on the ground, twitching and licking the yellow sand. You. The throat spit out a few words, and Lu Kang suddenly died. Hey, Fang Han, how, I said, I shouldn't save him. Now he threatens us. The Red Lord of the county sighed and took back the sword. She is the gold medal killer herself, this blow, silent, killing people, so harvest the soul. Chapter 33, Wake. Chapter 33 Wake up. How? The main sword of Hongyi County suddenly had a silent and uninterrupted blow. Fang Hana's eyes were shocked. He looked up and saw the Hongyi County master for a while. Liu Kang is the son of Junyuan Hu, and Junyuan Hu is away from the dynasty. The person who has mastered the military power, his nephew was killed, and he was afraid of endless troubles. I thought you would be shocked. I can't think of you being far more calm than I thought. The owner of Hongyi County cleaned the clean clothes in the blood on the sword. The eyes looked like two crystal gems looking at Fang Han. Then he smiled, but he didn't look at Lu Kang, who was already angry on the ground. It seemed to kill one insignificant people. She originally thought that she suddenly killed Lu Kang. Fang Han would be shocked first. The first sentence was to blame, but did not think that Fang Hana's first sentence actually considered the consequences of the matter. It was obviously thinking about how to be good. Seeing this, she could not help but admire Fang Hana's decisiveness, not an indecisive generation. Since things have gone out, regretting nothing is useless. Everything else is a waste of time. Now think about how good it is. Fang Han stood up and said, I never regret things afterwards, and Lu Kang actually dares. The threat is also a smug. He has no reason to be unfavorable, because a silver snake sword, a blood cotton magic coat, is enough to exchange 10 knights in the town. Losing this opportunity, there will be no life. Just he is too impatient. In fact, we should wait for us going back to the door of the feathers. I'm going to be jealous. Now He's dead, not killing me, but the red powder prince missed him and killed him. The main character of Hongyi County is floating, and the sword is sheathed. This place should not be left for a long time. I took the chicken to the Yangsuo and took it away. Fang Han was very clean and went forward to the front of Mo Shiji. Ms. Mo Shi, the outstanding disciple of the inner door, now has the poisonous soul of the 6 desires. Even if her physical cultivation is stronger, she has already reached the realm of change, and she is unconscious and her face is purple. Originally, the flesh was refining to the realm of 10 changes, and it was extremely powerful. Even if it took a pound of arsenic, it would only be a serious illness and it would not die. But how powerful is the poisonous soul of the 6 desires? 10,000 times more than arsenic. Mr. Sister, you can't live, you can see your creation. I can't let the treasures of the chickens and the sun stay on this desert. Fang Han talked, took Mo the rope in the hands of the sister. No-vel-b-in-c ohm. However, this rope is implicated in 10 flying night forks, tied together, and does not move. Oops, I forgot, after the rope is tied to the monster, unless the owner personally runs his mind, it will not be able to loosen. The Red County owner sighed. 10 flying night fork, how to bring it? Fang Han brow tightly locked. Now take the rope, you have to bring 10 flying night forks. I don't know how to squat Wangquan map. Can you take this treasure? Fang Han thought for a moment and decided to give it a try. He talked between the end of the rope and broke into the arms of Huangquan. Figure. At the same time, his mind was merged with the Wangquan River on Wangquan to fight. At this moment, it seems that I feel the breath of, the crouching of Wangquan. The Tianji to Yangsuo suddenly burst into a virtual shadow. It turned out to be a colorful pheasant, and each one stood tall and raised. Long sounds. Suddenly, the heavens and the earth are shocked, and it seems that the night must be turned into a dawning Li Ming. Hula, hula. At this moment, the shadow of a dragon suddenly burst out from the body of Fang Han, opened a large mouth of blood, sprayed a yellow light, swept between the heavens and the earth, the clouds were deserted, and the fingers disappeared. What? The owner of Hongyi County felt a strong danger and quickly squatted down. She doesn't know what happened. Only Fang Han could see clearly, and the dragon flew out, spewing out the sky and clouding, and fighting with the pheasant. Thousands of golden pheasant Yangshuo, and this dragon fighting overturned, Huang Yun rolling, golden pheasant long sound, Wanji one dragon, constitutes an unprecedented scene. Devil swallows the sun. Just after the next moment, the phantom of this dragon suddenly screamed, and the ***** mouth opened again. The phantom of the golden pheasant was sucked in by him. Then the sky was swept away, and this dragon once again plunged into the yellow spring figure of Fang Hana's chest, without a trace. The chicken in the hands of Moshiji has disappeared. What's going on? The Red Lord of the county felt the danger disappeared. She quickly turned over and stared at Fang Han. What about the chickens? Did you really collect it? And the 10 flying days? Yasha, Ida gone. So what happened? Fang Hengsen did not understand much, and did not know what happened. He only knows that when he collected the Tianji to Yangsuo, himself, the flea dragon in the yellow spring figure suddenly flew out, fighting with the golden pheasant in the rope, and finally won the whole victory, swallowing all the golden pheasants. Go on. Even the 10 flying night forks have disappeared. Is that the shadow of the dragon to collect the treasure? I have to look. Fang Han quickly immersed the gods in the picture of Huang Quan, and suddenly found that the 10 flying night forks were lying in the Huangquan River, sinking and floating, like floating bodies, they were all charged. Only the Tianji to Yangsuo, but there is no shadow, the trace of this treasure cannot be found in Huangquan. Strange things, even the 10 flying night forks are collected, why can't you find the Yangsuo? Could it be that the dragon has swallowed the ropes, knowing that this is the most pure yang between heaven and earth? A treasure, the colorful pheasant Yangshuo above, is not the same. Fang Han put the gods on the top of the Huangquan map, the body of the dragon. The crouching Huangquan map is a treasure to the world. There are 2 things on it. One is the dragon and the other is the long Huangquan River. I don't know where it is the source, and I don't know where to go. Generally, Fang Han knows that this treasure map is a magic weapon that is kept in the Huangquan River. The Huangquan River, although in the picture, seems to claim to be a void. Not the same small. Fang Han recently read the worlds, but he knows that the magic weapon of self-contained heaven is already the existence of the Tao level. There is a spirit in the magic weapon. The spirituality has gained the way, and it can be self-cultivation, no less than the height of the longevity, people. Like the Taoist in the door, the 5-character pot is a magic weapon. In the rumor, the elders of this magical instrumental sect are called 5-person real people. Calling a magic weapon as a real person, it can be seen that its status is lofty and extraordinary. In fact, the magic weapon at the level of the Taoist level, even if it is a super big school such as the 10 great schools of Shandao, it will be a few pieces. In other words, this pair of the crouching yellow spring map is at least a magic weapon at the level of the Tao. The Huangquan River is a hole in the sky, and the dragon is the instrumental spirit. Fang Hengsen has always been guessing like this. But the dragon has never said anything, nor has it expressed any spirituality. It is a picture, a dead object. But today, it is awake and eats a treasure. A precious baby. Fang Han suddenly felt that the dragon seemed to be lively. Is my guess true? This dragon is the instrument of Huang Quan Tu. The spiritual thing that got the way. Otherwise, where did the chicken come to Yang? Fang Hengsen passed the thoughts. Your guess is not wrong, it is in the midst of it, the descendant of Huang Quan's emperor. You also took Ju Jin Jin Dan. Ju Jin Jin Dan mixed your blood drops on this picture. You opened this treasure map today, you actually gave me a chance to eat a baby. A pure baby, let me recover 1,000th of the vitality. Finally let me wake up. Suddenly, in the feeling of Fang Han, the painted dragon opened his eyes, a vast voice conveyed to the depths of Fang Han. Fang Han, what's wrong with you? How can you stand still? Is there something wrong? The owner of Hongyi County suddenly said that she only saw Fang Han standing still. But I don't know, Fang Han heard the yellow dragon figure in his body, the talk of the dragon. Thousands of ancient spirits, wake up. Chapter 34, coming. Chapter 34 comes. You are the instrument of crouching Huang Quan Tu. Fang Han listened to the voice conveyed on the map of Huang Quan and communicated with the dragon. Suddenly I felt that the momentum of this dragon in Huangquan's picture is like the shackles of the big rivers. It is almost equal to the rolling, Long Yuan River. The Long Yuan River is a vast expanse of land, and it traverses the entire land of the dynasty. Now, the dragon in the Huangquan map, giving the atmosphere of Fang Han, is equivalent to the dragon vein of the first dynasty, running through ancient and modern times, mastering history and changing destiny. This breath is too powerful. Fang Han felt that there was a feeling of suffocation that he could not breathe. My origin, it was originally a dragon, of course, strong. But I was seriously injured, and I was so badly hurt that there was only one remnant of the soul, but as long as you can get a pure young baby like today, 3630. 6. Let me absorb this Yangshuo essence, I will be able to gradually recover, you will not have to hide in the time, you can directly inherit the Tao of Wangquan the Great, for a generation of magic emperor. Vertical and horizontal, dominate the universe. The voice of Xiaolong continued to be conveyed. You are so powerful, what can hurt you? Fang Hanpeng knows that this, Yu Fu Wangquan map, is the symbol of Wangquan Emperor of the Devil Gate. Whoever gets it, there is hope that it will become a generation of emperors and unify Wangquanmen. Now the dragon in Huangquan Euro's picture is actually awakened by himself. It's the immortal in heaven. The immortal man with boundless mana. Quote. Xiaolong sent a long sing. They are looking for the legendary door of eternal life. Ha 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 ha, the door, open the door, it is possible that the robbery will not be bad, the eternal will not die, the sun and the moon will be destroyed and I will not be destroyed, the heavens and the earth will be immortal and I will be immortal. Ha 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 ha, but these things are not something you can reach. The gate of eternal life, what is it? The sun and the moon are destroyed and I am not destroyed, the earth is dead and I am immortal. It is impossible to have such a existence. This dragon is crazy, what stimulation? Fang Han heart groaned. Fang Han, are you called Fang Han? I feel that you don't seem to have much excitement in your heart. You don't want to be a generation of devils. After Xiaolong sang long, he suddenly made a strange inquiry. Becoming a demon emperor, where is it so easy? The way of cultivation, it is impossible to achieve success with a magic weapon. Is there a magic weapon for the feathering door that I am now in? But the magician general character has a few. The magic weapon is the most it is an aid, let you take shortcuts, really cultivate, or rely on yourself step by step, solid footprints. Fang Hanzhong, a powerful mind, conveyed to Xiaolong no. For Xiaolong, let him inherit the Taoist system of Wangman Emperor and achieve a generation of demons. The hearts of Fang Hengsen are indeed not much excited. After all, cultivation is a step-by-step approach. With a tenacious spirit, extraordinary perseverance, great wisdom, and great fortune, it is impossible to cultivate into the realm of legend. It is absolutely impossible to accomplish it overnight. Otherwise, the world is full of masters. Such a large martial art of the Yuha Gate, the sect of the sect of the sect of the sect, the cultivation of the high, the fame is not under the magical emperor, it is particularly difficult to create a master of the mysterious secret. And even if it is a master of the mysterious secrets, the lack of will to step by step and cultivate the will, it is impossible to achieve great achievements. For example, now Yu Huaman teaches, give a yin and yang Wansho Dan to an ordinary person, and then spend a lot of power to let him step into the mysterious secret, then this person's achievements will stop here, it is impossible to enter, because it is a castle in the air. Therefore, the Eavesman will teach the disciples to kill the red powder princes, so that the elite disciples will receive spiritual surpass in life and death, and then grant yin and yang Wansho Dan. Can you become a demonic emperor with a piece of Huofu Wangquan? The emperor is too worthless. I can't think of it, you see through the way of cultivation, know the road of cultivation, long and never ending, very good, very good. Your mentality is very good, this is the mentality of the heirs of the emperor. The long road is long as you keep going there is always a successful day. In this way, you only need to find a pure Yang Zibao like today, give me food, let me restore my strength, and I will pass on Huang Quanzonga Euro's cultivation method to you. Gradually help you become the Great Gate. Dragon Road, sure enough, there is no free thing in the world, a magic weapon like Tianji to Yangsuo. Where can I find the second one for you to eat? Fang Han said slowly. And you swallowed this piece of treasure today, put me into a great danger. The elders of Yuhuaman must be traced. When I traced to me, I immediately died. You have to be taken to sacrifice. This trouble is solved first. This is really troublesome. Xiaolong was silent for a while, and said, my strength has not recovered, I can only receive the magic weapon at the level of the spirit. If it is a treasure, it will go through some battle. I met the feather door. I am afraid that I can only hide it in you. You have a combination of Ju Jin Jin Dan, the blood of Huang Quan, and it is suitable for me to hide and find a pure treasure for me. Things, later on, that Wangquan River, a self-contained void, is a small hole, I am the dragon of Wangquan River. In that year, Huang Quan the Emperor used the supreme power to seal the yellow river of the holy river of the abyss. You can use the power of the Wangquan River to store items so that no one else can find you. N.A. Vel P. in .c. Om. It turned out to be. Fang Han nodded, he now finally knows what benefits he has. The first is to help Xiaolong find pure treasures, let him swallow and restore strength. And Xiaolong will teach his own magical work of Wangquanmen. The second is to get the small hole in Wangquan River, which can store items. This is a deal. And, when I took this pure yang rope, I received the 10 flying night forks, all in the Wangquan River. I will use the power of Wangquan River to slowly raise them and turn them into Shira. Huangquan, it is the holy spring of the earth. The river has incredible power. It is most suitable for quenching magic. After you exercise the body, you can enter the Wangquan River. With these 10 Shira, even if you meet the elders of the Yuhuamen, I can fight. A fight, well, I must now refine the power of pure yang and consolidate the spirit. When it comes to danger, I will help you. No, someone is coming, fast. Close to here, the strength of the people is very strong. You must go quickly. As he spoke, the sound of this dragon gradually faded and seemed to be in a deep sleep. Fang Han, I heard the call of the host of Hongyi County, Fang Hanmenga Euro's return. Someone is coming, let's get out of here and bring the body of the Red Powder Prince. Fang Han didn't have much time to explain anything. Suddenly, he waved his hand and put a pink dress on his body. He just had to collect the blood cotton magic suit. Later, he walked around the Red Powder Prince, waved his hand, and suddenly there was a vortex of yellow water flowing on his hand. Then he took the Red Powder Prince and disappeared. In the observation of God, the body of the Prince of Red Powder has fallen into the Yellow Spring River in Huangquantu. After Xiaolong wakes up, Fang Han uses Huangquantu to be more comfortable. Now he can take a little bit of water from the Wangquan River with his own ideas and take back the items. Suddenly, Fang Han pulled up the owner of Hongyi County and called, "Get up." A pink light brought 2 people, gliding in the desert at low altitude, disappeared, entered the depths of the desert, and left the right and wrong. He put on the blood cotton magic suit and can fly against the power of the magic suit. Soon after the 2 left, 2 figures suddenly fell from the sky. One of them, wearing the Jinbi Luo shirt, is the 10th original sword heir that just fled the mountain river list. But he is very respectful now. Followed by a man, like a grandson. This man, the eyebrows are like a crescent moon, the air of the body is clear and clear, without a bit of fierceness. It seems that a spring water, a breeze, his clothes are an ordinary green shirt, not a spirit, nor a device. It seems that his flight is based on the power of asterisk, without a little external force. Wah brother, let's take a step later. The former Zhangkong grandson generally whispered softly. It turned out that it was the first true disciple of Yuhuamen who was in charge of Tiandufeng, Huishandu. The owner of Tianji to Yangsuo. Chapter 35. Another encounter with Qing Shui. Chapter 35. The encounter with Fang Qingshe. Yuhuamena Euro's true disciple, 108, each occupy a beautiful mountain with a natural and aura, and preside over the overall situation. Sometimes he also teaches those outside disciples and inner disciples to choose their own reliable confidants. The true disciple is extremely powerful and extremely powerful. But they also have 3 or 6 points. Among the 108 true disciples, one of the most powerful disciples is the Wat Tiandu. Even in the Taoist world, there is Heavenly Sun, call. And the elders of the 10 commandments of the Immortal Road are in an equal position. It is also a rumor of the Taoist world. It is the most promising to break through the supernatural powers and enter the longevity. Power is boundless, and the Tao is infinite. Tianji to Yangsuo is the magic weapon when he did not become enlightened. Now he has a very high magical power. He has no need for this magic weapon, so he borrowed it and gave it to Mo Shiji, so that Mo Shiji killed the demon sorcerer and got the martial art of yin and yang. Reward, become a true disciple in the future, is his person. I feel that there is a sudden problem with the chicken to the sun, and my mind has lost the induction. I know something. Who has taken away this pure yang treasure? Wat Tiandu did not pay attention to the original sword empty, but his face was cold, and the surrounding air suddenly cooled down, and the ground actually condensed into a thick ice shell. In particular, Mr. Mo, a few inner door disciples, and the prince of the Dade dynasty, the prince of the Duke, and Lu Kong were directly frozen in a piece of ice, like a piece of hail, taking their body functions, together with the poisonous soul inside, frozen. Giggling, the original sword was flashing on the body, and the teeth creaked. It turned out to be a deep chill, and seemed to freeze himself. Nav LBJNN. With his wearing a ceremonial vestment, the cultivation of the flesh and body changes. He can't stand the chill of Wat Tiandu, and it can be seen how powerful the Wat Tiandu magical power is. Hua's brother's cold and mysterious power is simply a shock to the ghosts and gods. If I hit my body, I am afraid that I will wear a 10-piece vestment, and I will be frozen into powder and my body will be broken. The original sword hollow in the horror. Tianshan Zanming Jin is one of the 8 supernatural powers of Yuhuaman. One hand is cold and cold, the sky is cold, the river is frozen, and it is extremely strong. Nowadays, Hua Tiandu uses Tian and Xuanjingjin, not to kill people, but to save people and freeze the vitality of these people. It can be seen that the ingenuity of their use has reached the realm of ingenuity and perfection. Hua brothers, our flying swords have been lost, and the Red Powder Prince is not present. It must be that the Red Powder Prince has taken away these spirits. My silver snake sword is also filthy by the 6 desires. I hope that the Chinese brothers will be the master. The original sword heir is very reluctant to own silver snake sword. I have to bring them back to the martial art. As for the loss of the magic weapon, I will talk about it later. The original sword heir, I have said many times, relying on the spirits, can only enhance the killing, no harm to self-cultivation. Lose silver snake sword, you may be able to step into the magical mystery. Hua Tiandu smiled coldly, but Tianji is not the same as Xiaoyang. Actually, someone can erase the spiritual mark that I left in it. It is definitely not the repair of the Prince of Red Powder. Even if it is 10 Red Powder Princes, I suspect that the elders of the Demon Gate are hands-on, and they must go back to inform the elders of the sects and teach the Supreme. You will go back with me. I will let the elders give you a flying sword. Between the words, Hua Tiandu had 5 fingers, and a few acres of white clouds flew in the sky, bringing all the frozen people up and flying into the sky. At the same time, he stepped on the white clouds. The clouds went away. This piece of white clouds is not a magic weapon, but the direct use of magical power. The cloud that is carried from the sky, the usage force condenses into a line of law, and drives away. This piece of white cloud that has temporarily condensed is much more powerful than the magic weapon. The great magical power of the clouds. The original Zhengkong quickly followed the white clouds and flew at low altitude. The vestments of the spirit level cannot fly too high. They can only gliding at low altitudes, and the speed should not be too fast. Otherwise, the strong winds will directly blow away the protection, making the mana run sluggish, falling from the sky and directly dying. Even Fang Han riding a crane is the same, cannot fly to the clouds, can only fly under the air. Even so, Fang Han still has to hide in the feathers of the crane fairy. Fang Han, how can you make the body of the Red Powder Prince disappear? What kind of magic weapon is it on your body? Even if it is a treasure, it is impossible to make a hole in the sky and open up the void. Unless you are a piece of it. The legendary Dao Dao, only the magic weapon of the Taoist level, can claim to be a void, and the slap-sized gourd can hold everything. Suddenly landed on a sand dune, the owner of Hongyi County stared at Fang Han, and it seemed to see what was going on. Also not let her not be shocked. When Fang Han collected the body of Red Powder Prince, he was able to turn the body into a shadowless scene. This is definitely a legendary device. A road device. What is the concept? The door of the fairy door, such as the Feather Gate, has a long history and is 10 times and 100 times more than many dynasties. Now there are a few pieces of the device. The secret of my body, the less people know the better. No more, you really have no benefit to the county owner, or don't ask more. I have erased the poisonous soul inside the true blue sword, and Mo Shiji. The spirit of blood, you can now sip blood. Fang Hana Euro's hand moved gently, and another group of Wangquan water gas, from which the handle of the Euro Etru blue sword Euro was handed to the owner of Hongyi County. Well, I don't ask, let's kill Lu Kong, take away these flying swords. It is also a secret of Tianda, let the elders of Yuhuaman know that it is definitely the disposal of the door. Fortunately no one saw us doing this. When we go back later, we can say that we have been saved. We can say that we have escaped our lives. Anything can be compiled. Yuha will not inquire about our 2 foreign disciples. The Red Yi County master opened his finger with a sword and dripped blood on it. There was a flesh and blood taste in the real blue sword. This true blue sword has been washed away by the water of the Wangquan River. Now it is a piece of white paper, which is equal to the new one. The red blood of the main lord of the county is established. Even if it is murder, it will be contaminated by the blood of others, and it will not be sacrificed by others. After a picture on a piece of white paper, others can no longer draw. Unless it is a master of supernatural powers, erase the spirit of the original blood. It is reduced to a piece of white paper. After cultivating the true blue sword, the owner of Hongyi County was very satisfied. Let's go to Lan Yucheng. The flying sword should not be exposed, and the blood cotton dress that you wear on you is too eye-catching. It can't be seen. €1. Not bad. Fang Han took off his blood cotton magic coat and earned it in the picture of Huang Quan. Let's walk to the Blue Moon City. The blood cotton magic clothes fly low, can't enter the clouds, and will be seen by the master on the ground. Also like this. Between the talks, the two men flew, walked on the yellow sand, and ran towards the Blue Moon City in the center of the desert. I walked in the desert for 3 days, and finally there were many oases in front of me. There was also a long river, blue sky and clear water. On this road, Fang Han and Hongyi County mastered each other Euro's martial arts every day, practicing swordsmanship and feeling I am very tough to hone myself, and I am faintly about to step into the realm of psychic. This is a Blue Moon River. Going down the Lanyu River, you will reach the Blue Moon Country, but this road is careful, the Sand Scorpion and the Demon of the Abyss are besieging the Blue Moon Country. In this river, sure there will be a large army of Shang and the devils camping. Red Yi County reminded. Just as her voice just fell, suddenly, in the distance on the Blue Moon River, a terrifying temper, like a wolf smoke, rushed straight into the sky. The Sirius is 7 cigarettes. In the heart of Fang Han Euro's heart, he hurriedly took the main character of Hongyi County on the ground. Later, he saw it again. Around the wolf smoke, a purple electric surround, such as the sinister thunder, the knife smashed, and the smoke column was smashed into 2 ends. Purple electric yin knife. It is Fang Qingshe. Fang Han Euro's heart was a fierce move. Chapter 36. Sister. Chapter 36 Sister. In the distant, Blue Moon River, the Sirius 7 cigarettes straight into the sky, but they were cut by the light of the purple electric scalpel, and they broke down everywhere. Fang Han deeply knows that, the wolf is 7 cigarettes, is very powerful. He relied on a poisonous cigarette to break through the blood-stained magic coat of the Red Powder Prince. Otherwise, it is not known who the deer died. The 7 wolves of the Sirius, this is the smog, it is an extremely powerful weapon. The 7 gourds, with smoke or even more treasures. A gourd picked from a demon vine planted by the demon god. Among the gourds, not only the Sirius 7 cigarettes, but also a lot of powerful things. This is what Fang Han knew when he heard the information of Wang Molin, the Sirius Little Real Man. Killing, Sirius Little Real Man. Wang Molin, the elders of Yuhuaman will also come up with a Yin-Yang Wanshodan, and Fang Han also knows the day of the day and the Crane Fairy met in the wild mountain ridge outside the Yuha mountain. It was the release of this person. Now 100% is Fang Qingshe to kill this Sirius Little Real Man, and break his treasure. Unexpectedly, the Blue Moon River, which came to the middle of the desert, was able to meet Fang Qingshe to kill people. Fang Han Euro's heart was really embarrassing. He is now afraid of seeing Fang Qingshe, because the secrets of his body are likely to be exposed. Purple electric snake. Yin and Yang have a spirit. Sure enough, in the distant river, the familiar sound of Fang Qingshe came. Fang Han suddenly saw Fang Qingshui's purple electric yin knife, a change, actually turned into 2 huge electric snakes. These 2 electric snakes, up to 10 feet as thick as a human leg, the scales on the body are vivid, spit the letter, and Fang Han seems to be on the body of 2 electric snakes, feeling the breath of life. Oh, the 2 electric snakes were formed by agglomeration, and immediately spit the letter, flying in the air, the first one connected, forming a yin and yang circle, once again cutting the Sirius smoke into pieces. That powerful current directly refines many wolf smoke. Among the wolf smoke, many of the wolves, screams, one after another, this is the wolf's soul inside is completely eliminated. The process of refining the Sirius 7 smoke cigarette is similar to that of the Tianji Yang cable. The Yangshuo is the blood-sucking impotence of the colorful golden pheasant, while the Sirius smoke is directly incorporated into the smoke with the blood of the Moon Night Wolf. However, this poisonous smog, when encountering the magical power of Fang Qingshe, is simply a moth. Destroy it. Fang Han looked at the sky, on the big river, Fang Qingshui's means of cutting the wolf smoke, once again deeply shocked. He knew that even if he was squatting in the dragon in Wangquan, he was afraid that he could not beat the Missy. Unless it is the dragon to restore all the strength. Ah, Fang Qingshe, you are not a Yuan dynasty, but a yin and yang environment. The 4th is the yin and yang. The mana has cultivated spirituality. How do you cultivate so fast? An extremely sharp curse erupted from the wolf smoke, and then a smoke sphere was drilled out of it, flew in the sky, and dragged a long tail behind it. Fang Han saw it really. The smoke sphere was wrapped in a man wearing dark green clothes. He held a small gourd in his hand. The smoke from the gourd came out of the gourd. His flight speed is extremely fast, such as the arrow passing through the clouds, the meteor transition, and flying in the blink of an eye from the top of the square. Want to run? At this moment, Fang Qingshe fluttered and appeared in the sky on the river. At the same time, the two yin and yang purple electric snakes had reached her feet, letting her step on one foot and wandering between them. Every asterisk is depraved. Under her feet, she walked on the yin and yang with two purple electric snakes, and quickly chased them. Seeing that the little wolf, Wang Molin, would disappear into her sight, only seeing her hands, the thick purple electric entanglement on her hands, instantly formed a giant bow of high height, followed by a purple lightning condensed into an arrow, placed on the bow. Hey! An arrow shot. The purple electric arrow actually tore the air directly, rubbing the air out of a series of fire tails. It seems that the meteorite in the sky landed on the ground. Only a flash, it slammed into the serious little real man. Wang Molina Euro's bodyguard wolf smoked on the ball. Ah, congenital magic. You actually combine the magic of the congenital demon and the magic of the fairy. Wang Molin immediately made a scream of screaming, and the ball of the body of the wolf was broken by the body, and the body fell down, and it fell into the Blue Moon River. At the same time, his clothes began to burn, seemingly burned by powerful currents, and all the eyebrows were erected, and the face was distorted in an instant. Fang Qingshui's trick is to use a magical power to condense into a bow and arrow, but it is the means of the magic door. Called the congenital demon arch, it is a kind of supernatural power of the magical seven congenital demon. With the purple electric yin and thunder, they complement each other. The demon black water. The moment he fell into the river, Wang Molin was desperately mad. The seven gourds in his hand suddenly burst out with a splash of water, black water, completely wrapped his body and integrated into the river. In the news has disappeared. Okay. Fang Qingshe rushed over, stayed on the river, stood in the void, and frowned. The demon black water. Then, in her eyebrows, there was a vertical eye that was condensed by purple electricity. In the blink of an eye, this purple electric eye was seen through the depths of the Lanyu River. I saw that there was a green light in the black water in the far distance. In the twinkling of an eye, it disappeared into the underground dark river and disappeared. Oh, anyone secretly help? Seeing this, Fang Qingshe did not chase, but put his gaze on the square below, the main body of Hongyi County, Yuhuaman disciple. Then she landed. I have seen Fang Shiji. Seeing that Fang Qingshe landed, Hongyi County and Fang Han were not good at the ground, jumping up, and the Red Yi County screamed. Fang Han was silent, he was thinking about how to word. Well, Fang Han, you dare to go to the desert of the Bohai Sea to experience it. You must know that it has become a place of conflict between the demons and the gods. It is extremely dangerous. I just let you be a foreign disciple, will you die? Fang Qingshe stared at Fang Han, wearing a dirty hole in deep into the heart. The breath is strong, the internal organs are condensed, the film is outside the flesh, and the inside is brave. You actually cultivated into the realm of bravery. In just 1 month, from the 6th body, the cultivation to the 8th the realm of bravery. Seeing the state of Fang Han's vitality, Fang Qingshe was slightly surprised. Because in just 1 month, I doubled. This is incredible in leaps and bounds. How did you cultivate? Answer me. Fang Qingshe saw that Fang Han was silent and did not make a sound. The sound was aggravated, as if the hammer hit the heart. N.A. Vel B. in C. Om. Sister, this is the case. Fang Han heard the heavy voice of Fang Qingshe and quickly answered, he had to word it. However, Fang Qingshe waved his hand and shot a strange light in his eyes. What did you just call me? Chapter 37. Practice with me. Chapter 37 is to practice with me. Fang Qingshe was cold, and the surrounding temperature seemed to drop sharply, and the surrounding air had a tendency to freeze. Although it is not the real freezing of the Tian Tian Duo, that is, Hua Tian Du, but the spiritual chill is like snow, and the cold is pressing. In the eyes of the lady, the true disciple, the master of the mysterious secrets, Fang Han has a squat between the cold and the snow, standing in the snow and ice, deeply chilling into the bone marrow, piercing the spirit, deep into the brain, controlling his thinking. Yuanshan spiritual. Under this circumstance, Fang Han quickly exhibited the cultivation practice of Yuhuaman's repressive spirit. The mind of God, the door of a quaint texture, was looming in his mind. Suddenly, the whole body violently runs, rushing to the heavenly gate of the brain. All the spiritual illusions are washed away, and the heavens and the earth are still the original heaven and earth. Oh, you have also cultivated the spirit of Yuanshan. You can use your blood to motivate the brain, dispel the illusion, and suppress the spirit. This is the practice that the inner disciples can learn. It is taught by the crane fairy. It is able to get rid of my spiritual illusion, which is only one step away from the spiritual world, the speed of cultivation, not to mention the children of Fenga Euro's family, even the outside disciples of Yuhuaman can match you. Fang Qingshe is slow again. Between the words she had just spoke, she took a hint of spiritual oppression, but did not expect Fang Han to recover so quickly, not to be oppressed, and immediately tested the repair of Fang Han, and soon he would enter the 9th heavy psychic body realm. This made her even more surprised. Because according to the speed of cultivation, although it is not a good old-fashioned, it is also outstanding. I have to continue to practice. This time I came to the Bohai Desert, which is to kill several leaders of Shang. I will compete for a position as an inner disciple. Fang Han licked his lips and replied again. He just shouted a sister, just to open up the topic and risk distracting Fang Qingshui's attention. Otherwise, Fang Qingshe asked him about other things, and it was easy to reveal the stuff and expose the secret of the crouching Wangquan. Others don't know what baby is on him, but Fang Qingshe is easy to guess, because it is the white sea otter she killed. As for Fang Qingshe, it is better to punish him for the name of the sister. Because the crouching Wangquan kills him well. You go to the Blue Moon City, where there are many disciples outside the door. Fang Qingshe did not answer the words of Fang Han, but the main road to Hongyi County. Yes, sister. The owner of Hongyi County looked at Fang Han, but he did not dare to violate the order of Fang Qingshe. The body flashed and displayed a land-based limping technique. It seemed that a rouge horse was far away. After she left, Fang Qingshe stared at Fang Han for a while, and she did not speak. Her eyes flashed purple and she didn't know what she was thinking. Fang Han was also seen by her, and she did not know what she was doing and what she was doing. The dragon in the body underwear, the crouching yellow spring map, did not have a sigh of sound. It seems to be completely concealed, no trace. This dragon blew the sky, the earth rushed Jinlian, and said that the heavenly immortals hit him. As a result, the master who met a mysterious secret is scared to hide. It is too declining. Fang Hengsen secretly stunned. Sister, a good sister. Fang Qingshe looked at Fang Han for a while, walked up and down the sand, suddenly opened his mouth, but it shocked Fang Han, cold sweat turning around in the pores. It seems that you have been plunged, and your confidence has skyrocketed. A small slave can actually get rid of the shackles in his heart in a short time. It is rare, and the future is limitless. My family has a talent. The most fear is that the strength is strong, but there is still a shackle in the heart. Such a person, there will be no achievements. Your sister, break the shackles, have this courage, the future will certainly not be low. I remember you. Fang Han looked at Fang Qingshe with his eyes open, and he did not expect that the murdered Missy not only did not punish him, but showed his appreciation, which he did not expect. However, he had a confidant taste in his heart. Fang Qingshe said, I remember you. But it is very rare, and it also represents the qualification that Fang Han has for her to remember. Sister speaking is. Fang Han at this time, knowing what attitude Fang Qingshe is, the mind immediately became flexible. Right, Shiji, you just want to kill. It seems to be a small real man Wang Molin. I used to be with the crane fairy. I have encountered it once outside the Feather Hill. Between the talks, he said that he had encountered the 7-day scorpion smoke, but he hid the Huofu Wangquan map to collect a part of the poisonous smoke, but replaced it with, because the inside of the Yuha mountain poison, the smoke automatically receded and escaped. The lie. He said that this matter is also a topic that is open, so that Fang Qingshe will ask him to repair it as a skyrocketing thing. Well, Wang Molin actually dared to appear outside the Yuha mountain. Sure enough, Fang Qingshe was attracted by this matter and fell into meditation. I just killed Wang Molin, but he was actually escaping into the underground river. Someone responded. Many doubts. After thinking about it, it seems that I felt that I had an idea. Fang Qingshe said again, your cultivation is progressing so fast, and it is going to become a disciple of Yuhuaman. In my family, it should not be a slave. But you Ida Euro S not unusual to be brave now. Ia Euro am curious about you and see what the reason is, so that you can make a big leap forward. Ida Euro S just that I have to do one thing, and you will follow. Come there, I will make you good. Cultivation, as long as you are practicing in this time, and practicing to the realm of divine change, I will go back and let my father recognize you as a righteous son. Since then, you are also the true child of my family. Hearing this, Fang Hana's heart glimpsed. He knew that Fang Qingshe had some doubts about himself and allowed himself to practice under her eyes. In this case, Fang Qingshui's magical power and eyesight were only greatly increased, but his chances of exposure increased greatly. He can't refuse now. N.A. Vel B. in .c. Om. Once rejected, I am afraid I will be killed on the spot. I don't know what the sisters are going to do. Where do you go to practice? Fang Han quietly said, showing a calm and unrestrained attitude. I want to go to the bottom of the abyss and kill a person. I used to go alone, but since you are a family member, and you practice very fast, you will bring it up, let you fight with the underground demon, and help me. Clean up the small roll. When Fang Qingshe spoke, there were 2 purple electric yin and yang snakes around her. She sat down on the head of a purple electric snake. You sit on the head of another snake. Fang Han heard the words, and quickly sat up, suddenly felt calm. The purple electric snake's head faintly had a suction, sucking his body, how can not fall, surrounded by purple gas, resisting the wind and air, extremely comfortable. What kind of mana is this sister? Fang Han deliberately explored the road. This is the purple electric yin and yang snake, self-contained spirit, but my mana casting power is endless. Fang Qingshe is still cold and clear, you don't have to ask so much now, this is something that will be known after cultivation into the mysterious secret. The magical mystery, magical secrets. Fang Han muttered, if you can cultivate to the mysterious secret, I will marry Qingwei. Fang Qingshe closed his eyes and spoke, but there was an unfathomable taste in his tone. After that, she patted the head of the purple electric snake. Go. 2 long squats, like a dragon. 2 yin and yang purple electric snakes flew up and went straight into the clouds. The wind whistling, the white clouds rolled, the cold air forced, the air flow was like a knife, and Fang Han never flew over the white clouds. At this time, look to the ground, all at once can't see, it seems to come to heaven. The purple electric yin and yang snakes seem to be 2 purple dragons, walking through the clouds, seeing the end without seeing the tail. This woman is very powerful. There are the magical powers of the congenital mozong, and the fairy tales of the feathering gate. These 2 yin and yang snakes are the means of combining the magical roads of the feathers and the congenital geniuses. If you practice in front of her, be careful. If you have a bad pool, you will have to see it. Suddenly, in the depths of Fang Hana's soul, a voice was heard. It was the dragon spirit that woke up again. How to be careful. Fang Han is really not sure not to be seen by Fang Qingshe. I will teach you when I arrive. It is not advisable to talk now. You are sitting on this yin and yang purple electric snake. It is easy to be noticed. The dragon and the dragon will be silent. Right, what do you call it? Fang Han asked. He didn't even know the name of Xiaolong, and he couldn't name it in the future. My name is a euro, just one word, a euro. Ez. Fang Hengxin chewed the word, and the ez was really silent. The crouching Wangquan also seems to be integrated into his own flesh. Well, I am at the entrance to the abyss. Go on. Fang Qingshui's voice came again. Fang Han quickly looked over and found that the young lady did not know when to stand on the head of the snake. Looking down, the 2 purple electric snakes rushed toward the bottom like arrows and rushed out of the clouds. Fang Han saw the endless yellow sand. Suddenly there was a huge seam. It seemed to split the whole earth from it. The seam was dark, and there were occasional shadows of bats in the dark. Flying, it seems that the depth of the seam is a bat nest. Hey, the purple electric snake carried Fang Han and Fang Qingshe together into the seam, and sure enough, countless bats fly from the seams, such as the worms swept through. These bats. Fang Han saw this clearly. These bats have the size of a fan, the tip of the tooth is like a blade, and the eye is bloody. It is actually a rare vampire bat. However, these vampire bats, as soon as they arrived around the purple electric snake, were suddenly shocked, screamed and screamed. The big snake rushed all the way down, and the bat that was electrocuted died like a raindrop. I don't know how much it died. Huh. Suddenly, the big snake fell to the ground, and Fang Han saw himself falling into a mountain belly. This mountainside looked at it, and it was boundless, like a plain, turned out to be the underground world. This is the world of the abyss, the endless demon, the night fork, the ferocious beast, let us walk all the way to the altar of the demon god. If flying, purple flashing, it is easy to hit the grass. Fang Qingshe. The demon ***** altar. Fang Han wondered. Wang Molin was injured by me, he must go back to the demon ***** altar to heal. I naturally want to scribble the roots. At the same time, the demon ***** altar is still the military enemy of the underground demon army. There is a Shira commander, after the destruction, the devil army no war. Between Fang Qingshui's speech, the purple electric double snake turned into a purple light, earning her body and strolling forward. Fang Han also had to follow behind, embarked on the depths of the ground, the dark land. Chapter 38. Underground World. Chapter 38. The Underground World. The abyss of the earth is not completely dark. Fang Han set foot on the land of the abyss and found that there is no difference with the ground. There are fertile black soil everywhere, and there are many streams and tall plants. These tall plants are mostly mushrooms. Some mushrooms resemble giant umbrellas, and the stars are a little bit brighter, giving a soft glow to the Earth's abyss world. These mushrooms are called luminous mushrooms. They grow everywhere in the ground. You cultivate it into a realm of bravery. With this silky light, you should have the ability to have night vision. This underground world is a good place to cultivate, hidden in the darkness. Endless dangers, many monsters will kill you at any time. But here can be a good way to hone people's spiritual will, develop potential, always in danger, is the best way to practice. As far as I know, half of the true disciples of our Feathering Gates are practicing underground before they reach the mysterious secrets. Fang Qingshe walked on the ground and his feet were not dusty. There are rich mineral deposits in the earth, thousands of years of cold iron, ink crystal, purple silver, fine gold, white yao steel, crystal spar, blue rock, sea-tide jade, etc. It is a refining Phagian, a necessary material for the implement, and can even assist in cultivation and enhance the spirit of the human being. The monsters in the underground are strange, and the blood of some monsters is the best material for refining medicinal herbs, and even you. The one-horned python that you have taken, you have read the world, there are some underground situations, and I don't need to say more. You are going to go to me now and open the way for me. Okay, sister. Fang Han's body flashed and took out a residual image. He walked in front of Fang Qingshe and walked silently. Fang Qingshe saw Fang Han's movements, agility, state of mind, and calmness. He couldn't help but slightly nod his head, but his eyes were fixed on him. It seemed that he had to see what was going on. In fact, Fang Qingshe let Fang Han come to the bottom of the earth, but also want to see for himself why the servant is going so fast. Now let Fang Han open the way for her, and I can definitely see the real clue. You must not use the martial arts of the Star's Gate, otherwise you will know that I am getting something from Bai Hai Zhen. It is better to come to a virtual reality. Fang Han walked while trying to find ways to hide his own means, so as not to expose his own efforts in life and death. After all, the most familiar martial arts he practiced were the 2 tricks of a stars and 7 stars a euro and a queen stars a euro. Walking and walking, gradually entering the depths of the dark, more and more mushroom communities on the ground, and occasionally there are poisonous insects such as cockroaches and scorpions, but because Fang Han's vestments have the function of avoiding insects, so far escape driven out. Just between this walk, a huge danger, attacking the soul of Fang Han, in front of the mushroom jungle, suddenly a blood shadow flashed, fierce anger suffocating, in the shadow of blood, sense white teeth, biting into your throat. Hey! Fang Han thought that he did not think about it, the sword was upside down, like a fishing mast, a sword went straight to the shadow. Wow! This blood shadow made a scream, and it was slammed on the ground by the sword. It turned out to be a whole body of ***** red blood, like a flame of a wolf, especially the teeth are deep, long as a finger, sharp as if stones can be bitten down. There was an abyss blood wolf. Fang Han saw this situation and recognized what a fierce monster. This kind of abyss blood wolf, the body is extremely strong, the teeth can bite the granite stone, eating people is even chewed into powder to swallow. And the speed is lightning fast, extremely embarrassing, good at stealing sneak attacks, if you reach the ground, you can kill a village. The master of the realm of divine power is not prepared, but also to be killed. Often dynasties, a village is completely extinct by a blood wolf. Among the underground, there are so many blood wolves, and even the underground devils dare to eat. However, the ***** wolf's fur is worth a lot of money outside, and many of the nobles are honored with blood-stained wolf coats. And the top of the blood wolf has a top bone, called blood crystal, which is brightly colored and contains extremely rich essence. After wearing it, ordinary people can treat the weak disease, make up for the lack of blood, and refine many medicinal herbs, the best material for the instrument, the spirit. Fang Han did not want to pick up the sword in his hand. He picked up the top of the blood wolf's head bones, picked up the thumb and a large blood skull, and fell into his hand, feeling a warm, seemingly warm jade. Imperial fishing shark, Wan Shuexian martial arts. Fang Qingshe glimpsed a little, and saw Fang Han killing this blood wolf. It was clean and neat, and it was effortless to use the martial arts of Wangguixian Island. After I entered the outer door, I played against many foreign gates every day and honed martial arts. This trick was played by me with the treasure prince of the Dade dynasty. He showed it, and then I went back and carefully tried to steal it. Power skills, I hope my sister will advise. Fang Han was busy. Well, this trick is somewhat fascinating, but there are still some broken places. The immortal fisherman shark, this trick has a deeper mystery, not so simple on the surface. Fang Qingshe pointed out. Fang Han listened and felt that Fang Qingshui's understanding of martial arts was profoundly profound. He did not know where to go compared to Bai Hai Chan. Every time I listen to it, there is a feeling of opening. It's no wonder that after 3 years of hard work, it's better than a famous teacher. Savings are walking forward. Oh, Suddenly, a number of colorful snakes picked up from the grass and bite into the square cold. These snakes are not afraid of the smell on the cold vestments, which shows that they have been poisonous. Long hate. N-O-V-E in .c Om. Fang Han was also a sword, and the sword was secretive. He cut the heads of several snakes and stared at the ground one by one. Long hate fingering, which is your foreigner disciple? Asked Fang Qingshe. Ida Euro still the Prince of Nabao. On the first day, I defeated him. Later, I worked hard with the Hongyi County, and then he played with him. He showed this trick, Fang Han explained. I don't know this. A trick, what is the model? The martial arts of the long-spoken Mozong must be carried out with the hatred of the sky. The deeper the hatred, the deeper the martial arts, and you should not practice it anymore. It is easy to provoke negative emotions and get mad. Fang Qingshe explained the martial arts of Changzong Mozong again. In the vast underground world, the two stopped to eat something. Fang Han alone opened the road in front, so that he walked all day and night. The road did not know how many dangers. There were blood wolves, blood bears, 3-headed snakes, and even a small group foraging, hunting the devil, have been Fang Han one by one killed on the sword. All the way up, the spirit of Fang Han collapsed tightly, always paying attention to the surrounding movements, and gradually deepened into the deeper underground world. His cultivation, spirit, under the guidance of Fang Qingshe, after the actual exercise, more and more sophisticated. In this, he also occasionally took the opportunity to use the martial arts of the Star Gate. When Fang Qingshe asked, he said that he had learned from fighting with the disciples outside the door, because there was a fairy shark, and long shoulder fingering in front. For the cover, Fang Qingshe did not doubt anything. Roar. Suddenly, Fang Han heard a violent roar. In the darkness in front, there was a long torch of the team, like a long flame, and walked face to face. In the distant light, Fang Han looked really real. He was a tall underground demon, but these devils took the torch in one hand and the steel fork in the other. The back was slightly bulging, like 2 big meat bags. This is a team of yaksha. It seems that not far from the altar of the demon god, you go to kill these nightshakes. Fang Qingshe. The demon of the earth, first of all the devil, then the night fork, and then one level is the flying night fork, a higher level, the big commander is called Shira. The physical strength of the devil is equivalent to the master of the realm of divine power, while the yaksha is equivalent to the master of the realm of bravery. Flying yaksha is the master of the physical world. As for Shira, it is the master of the mysterious secret. Now Fang Qingshe actually let Fang Han to kill a group of nightshades equivalent to the realm of bravery. Chapter 39, Psychic World. Chapter 39, The Psychic Realm. A group of holding the torches of the yasha is obviously found in Fang Han, Fang Qingshe, all of them are making a sharp whistling, throwing a torch on the handle, holding a steel fork, a few jumps, like a big cockroach, flying fast, seems to see the most delicious food in general. These yaksha, the jumping power is extremely amazing. A jump is enough for 3 or 4 people to come high, 3 or 40 steps away, you can jump over an ordinary house. Nav LBJNN. Although it is not like a flying night fork, it can glides in the sky, but it also shows the ability of the devil. The general master of Brave Realm has not jumped so high, so far. 10, 11, 12. There are 12 Yaksha. 12 masters of the realm of bravery. Fortunately their martial arts are not as good as the brave masters. There are many flaws to look for. Fang Han body stood upright, the sword was erected, and the footsteps rushed forward, not even retreating, killing the Yaksha. The underground devil has a characteristic, that is, it is a lot of power, but the martial arts is relatively inferior, and there is no subtlety of human beings. This creates a chance for the master to find flaws and kill the devil. Ha 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 ha, actually encountered 2 humans. There is also a woman, certainly want to come to the bottom to hunt the monsters to get rich, the men who eat, the woman's catchback, dedicated to the big commander. The Yaksha that jumped quickly and uttered ambiguous words. The magic of the underground devil is extremely high, especially the demon like the Yaksha. Wisdom is only a little worse than human beings. The flying night fork is really no different from human beings. Now these nightshades, the sounds that are emitted, can also be ignited, using steel fork weapons, fully indicating that they have left the word of the beast, completely possessing all the characteristics of the word, person. Their language and writing are ancient times and human beings are spreading. This kind of existence is the most difficult to deal with. It is not the power but the wisdom. A Yaksha jumps first, such as a tiger, the steel fork in the hand, the thorns to the square cold, the cold light flashes, the power is great, you can put a cow fork and string together to do the barbecue. When Fang Han s foot equation kicks the bucket kicking on the steel fork, suddenly kicking the steel fork, and at the same time he uses the force, the sword is like the wind, and like the autumn rain, flashing a series of afterimages, immersed in the eyes of this Yaksha. A sword is glaring, the tip of the sword enters the brain. The Yaksha made a snarling roar, tearing his heart and lungs, jumping backwards, and slamming into the underground dark river, experiencing countless blood, and then his body was washed away by the raging water. A trick to enemies, Fang Han never stops, the body flashes again, a few steps to dodge outwards, step out. Hey, a few handles of steel forks were inserted into the place where he had just stopped. If the dodge was slowed down half a beat, they would be skewered into a barbecue. The great power of the steel fork is enough to pierce his vestments. Kill him. Well, where did the woman go? Just behind him, how come? No matter the woman, let the man get rid of it first. The Yaksha giants screamed, the steel fork broke through the air, and the force slammed heavily. They wanted to put Fang Han to death, and Fang Qingshe, who had been walking behind Fang Han, actually disappeared. No one knows where she went. Fang Han cold na care much at this time, because there are 11 nightshades that surround him. 11 nightshades are much more fierce than 11 wolves, and the skin of these Yaksha forks has a thick layer. The scales, the swordsman smashed up, encountered great obstacles, it is easy to get stuck, to kill them, you must kill the eyes. If at this time, Fang Han can use Phagian, then transport the blood cotton magic clothing, then solve these nocturnal forks, but Fang Qingshe is clearly watching him practicing, how can he reveal himself? I am afraid that I will not die in the hands of Yaksha, and I will die in Fang Qingshui's hands. Flying Spirit 9 turns. Fang Han once again dodged, letting the steel fork of the assassination fall into the air, and then he showed the tricks in Flying Spirit and body, suddenly a sword, once again stabbed the eyes of a Yaksha. People, find death. This nightshade's scarlet tongue smashed out, throwing the steel fork, and the palm of his hand was actually caught in the sword of Fang Han. It turned out to be the scales on his body. If the sword is caught, Fang Han is immediately dangerous, and there is no weapon in his hand. It is impossible to kill these nocturnal forks. Squid wears waves. Fang Han brain in a move, in a hurry, the body bones are soft, sinking, wearing, from the side of the night fork, through the sword, smashing, cut in the ears of the Yaksha. When Mars splashed, the half of the night fork was cut off, the scales on the head fell a large piece, bloody, screaming. If the night owl is crying, hee. Good hard scales. I can only cut off the scales of the golden swords, and if the ordinary irons are still suffering. Fang Han body fell to the ground, rolled again and rolled out. For a time, 11 knights' forks surrounded the square cold group, the steel fork in the hand kept stabbing, and Fang Han was squatting, jumping up and down, sometimes drilling out of the circle, rushing away, waiting for the yak to catch up, swing the sword and fight again. Fight, fight, fight. The steel fork of a pole was cut directly by him. After more than a dozen rounds, the steel forks in the hands of the 11 knights were all bare. The scales on the yaksha are extremely hard, but the steel fork is the iron. Where is the sword of the feather gate? It is good. After all the weapons of the yaksha were cut, Fang Han suddenly felt that the pressure was reduced a lot. All the power was lifted, and the swords were assassinated. For a while, the stars were a little bit, and each nightshade felt sharp. The tip of the sword directly pushes to your own eyes. Yakshas roared back. Fang Han once again lifted his strength and concentrated on it. Between the two, he felt that his flesh and blood seemed to be a group of flames. The strong flame burned up and rushed to the brain. The brain was suddenly illuminated by the blood. Once again, the spirit is unprecedented and the spirit is unprecedented. At this moment, Fang Han seems to see that his head is transparent, like crystal. This night fork, the explosive power of 1,350 pounds up and down, running fast, blinking 43 steps. Weight 350 pounds up and down. Suddenly, Fang Han's thinking, clear. The weight of a fork, the speed of running and jumping, the power of the shot, seems to be clearly known to him. When he sees a nightshade, his mind can accurately estimate the vitality of this yaksha. Even when the night fork moved and did not take off, Fang Han could feel which direction he must jump. The whole spirit has suddenly risen to a level. Step into the body, psychic. Chapter 40, Altar of the Demon. Chapter 40, Altar of the Goddess. As soon as he stepped into the 9th heavy psychic body of the flesh, Fang Han felt that he really took it to the next level. Not only the skill, but also the spirit, all the unprecedented unprecedented. The whole body was reborn, like a dragon snake skin, and it was completely new. Heaven and earth are in my mind. Unlimited magnification of the mind. Fang Han feels that he has the spiritual will that no one can destroy. In his mind, there is an invincible seed. The door of the magical power in the mind seems to have quietly opened a gap. The realm of psychic is that physical strength reaches a limit, which leads to the outbreak of the spirit. Now Fang Han has reached the spiritual realm in one fell swoop, and the sensitivity has increased sharply. Thousands of steps in the whole body, any wind and grass, even slight sputum, spider crawling, are reflected in my mind. Without any movement, I can hide the eyes and ears of Fang Han. This is the realm of psychic. Sensitive to communicate with the gods. Insight into the autumn. This kind of realm is another watershed for physical cultivation. Physical cultivation, to the 5th power is a watershed, to the 9th heavy spirit, is a watershed of the top priority, because this is an important stage of the spirit of turn, only stepped into the realm of psychic, only hope to step into the mystery of the magic. Fang Han seems to feel that as long as he runs the spirit, the bones and internal organs of the whole body are vivid and clear. The realm of psychic can be seen internally. The bones are distinct, such as crystal. This is the characteristic of the spiritual realm recorded in the worlds. Shan fighting snake. Fang Han suddenly stabbed a sword and stabbed the empty space, but a nightshade just jumped up to his sword, his eyes touched the tip of the sword, and he was penetrated into the brain and fell to the ground. In the blink of an eye, Fang Han repeatedly stabbed, as fast as a fly, pointing to the east, the guide hit the north. Those nightshades seemed to be flies without heads, hitting the sword of Fang Han. For a time, Fang Han's sword was like a crane dancing in the sky, and the dragon was swaying and turned out, and his shadow was everywhere. The head of the yaksha was pierced through the eyes, fell directly, and died. People, the last nightshade roared and fell down. Fang Han's sword fell and it broke into two. It was originally pierced into the eyes of this yaksha, and was caught by the skull inside. When it was pulled out, it was too fast, and the sword was broken. Fang Han's original strength is much higher than that of the general brave realm. The strength is great enough to match the master of the general realm of change. Jui Jindan was reborn and gave him the foundation of the majestic. You can actually kill the 12-headed yak, and in the fight, step into the psychic world. At this moment, Fang Qingshe suddenly landed slowly. It turned out that she just flew up and into the darkness, quietly observing everything below. For Fang Han to kill the 12-headed yak, stepping into the psychic world, her heart is also slightly shocked, but since entering the ground, Fang Han has killed the monsters and asked her for martial arts. She has already felt it. Fang Han, this person's qualification is the top choice, and has an extraordinary ability to comprehend cultivation, surpassing all the children of the family. No-vel-p in.c Om. It is a personal talent. Hopefully step into the magical mystery. If he stepped into the mysterious mystery and became a true disciple and could use it for me, then I also had a helper among many true disciples. This is the first thought in her heart. However, it is no wonder that she has such an idea in her heart. Otherwise, the Jui Jindan, Fang Han will be eaten in vain. If the medicinal herbs refining the demon lord have no effect at all, Huang Quan can kill it. Sister, although I stepped into the realm of psychic, but this sword is broken, there is no weapon. If you encounter the Yaksha again on this road, the consequences are worrying. Fang Han was a little afraid of what the Missy had seen through, and quickly opened the words. There is nothing. Fang Qingshe grabbed it with his hand, and the two pieces of the sword that had been broken floated into the air, and they slammed into the broken sword with a purple electric symbol. The broken sword immediately melted into a mass of metal liquid. Once again, a complete sword is formed. Straight and sharp, there is a lightning texture inside the blade. Your broken sword was remelted by me. I was concentrating on the magical power of my purple electric knife. As long as the enemy was in the middle, the purple electric knife would burst and the financial iron would be burned. Even if it hits the flying knight fork, it can hurt. Quote. It's a pity that it is not a spirit. After taking over the sword that Fang Qingshe refined for himself, Fang Hengsen stunned. The reason why Feijian is called the spirit is that it contains the arsenal. The power of it is purely. It does not need to consume its own physical strength. At the most critical moment, it is vital to save energy. The sword refining by Fang Qingshe, although sharper than the original sword, is much tougher, but after all, he will not fly out to kill the enemy, he has to wave and assassinate himself. Fang Qingshe naturally didn't know what Fang Han was in. He walked forward and looked forward. You still open the road ahead, but the closer you are to the altar of the demon god, the more and more yaksha. Remember, the realm of psychic Ida Euro S not a big deal. Even if Ida Euro S tenfold, Ida Euro S nothing to change. Only when you step into the mysterious world and break the world of ordinary people can you step into the sky. I still say this, if you step into the mystery, I will let Qing Wei is married to you. My sister has nothing. It doesn't matter if I don't marry me. My sister is almost the same. Fang Hengsen stunned, and of course he squatted in his heart, and it was impossible to express it on the surface. Well, my courage is getting bigger and bigger, and such thoughts are actually there. Later, Fang Han was amazed at the idea that he had in his heart. 4 months ago, he was a humble slave. Hey, what kind of courage is this? You will become a generation of demons sooner or later, will this be a good thing? But this woman is powerful, and the achievements will not stop there. I hope to step into the longevity and achieve the supreme. If you can let her marry you and become your favorite, it is also a good choice. Suddenly, in the depths of the soul, there was a voice of dragonfly. No sound. Now I only practice cultivation and improve my strength. I will step into the magical mystery as soon as possible. The rest will not think about it. As for becoming a demon, it is a very distant matter. As long as you are bent on it, there will always be clouds. Ida Euro S a day when the sky is shining, and now Ida Euro S time to practice with Fang Qingshe. Although Ida Euro S dangerous, Ida Euro S not an opportunity, a Euro. Fang Hana Euro S heart is calm and waveless, and he talks about a Euro always a Euro. Well, with this mentality, I am more at ease. The front is very dangerous, I feel the spirit of the demon god, there are many masters, this time you have to be very careful. As first silence and suddenly opened. The atmosphere of the demon god. Fang Han walked and talked to, as. Suddenly, countless lights flashed in front of him. A huge altar stood on the earth dozens of miles away. Bleeding red light illuminates everything. In front of me is a plain of the earth. On the plains, thousands of night forks, neatly like the army. The sky is still flying with the flying night fork.